Okay.
All right, so
You don't know. Maybe we'll talk to it.
So you basically dropped your flame wall and then backed away as this thing was thundering around the corner.
Mm-hmm. Can I tell if it ran away back in the direction it came from?
It doesn't sound like that's the case. Jeep, thank you for the cheer, my friend. Much love.
Okay.
He's coming through? Shit.
Is he?
Okay. Now, we're currently using dynamic lighting, so our players don't actually see what you see. For example, this is what Radovan sees. So, just so you have an understanding and a perspective, our players do not see what you guys have, because they should have the stream itself turned off and nothing but chat open.
Right.
Unless they're nasty little cheat thieves, in which case I'm going to drop a 15 extra Yetis in there just to freak them out.
No!
You can barely survive the baby.
All right, so you guys have all backed away. So you can see the huge wall of flame blazing to the north of you. You can see flickering shadows of some huge, big, looming shape somewhere back there.
I'm gonna say we need to retreat to some quarters that we can maneuver in. Can I move, within my distance, or
Yeah.
is it not my turn? Because
No, you guys can, we haven't rolled initiatives for this particular combat yet, so you are all free to make a movement if you wish.
yeah, because that's what I'm gonna move over here.
Well, he's just standing there, just behind the wall. Can I fireball?
Make a listen check for me, please, Kieliana.
Sure. I see him.
I can't see shit, so I'm...
I can't see shit, can you?
Listen check. Shapink.
All right. You can hear his big padded feet moving away from the fire.
Oh, he's moving.
Night Striker, thanks for the resale.
So he's circling back?
15
Maybe,
months for
let me-
you. Much love. Spam your hype and spam your pants off.
Let me try to secure the other side. Move.
I'm gonna be casting a spell as you're moving by me, so.
Okay.
All right, Radovan, what are you going to cast?
Well, I'm gonna enter 5 feet into this corridor, because how high is the ceiling, actually?
Here, it's about 15 feet. But there is a ledge that you can probably see. Let me answer that question. Actually, you can't see it. You can barely see. There's like a ledge ahead of you, about 15 feet away, that drops down.
Okay, so I'm actually casting Righteous Might on myself.
Okay.
So I'm going to barely touch the top of it. I'm going to get larger. And that changes a whole bunch of stats, which I'm going to be doing right now as Kia does whatever Kia's doing.
Well, I just realized I don't think I can cast 2 walls of fire because it's concentration.
Yep, which means you cannot. Oh, actually, no, that's BS. This is 3.5, not 5e. It doesn't work the same way.
Oh, I forgot.
There is nothing that says that the concentration for the spell itself.
Yeah.
Once you cast the spell, you can have a second wall of fire up.
Oh, I kept 2 concentrations.
Yeah, it's 3.5. Concentration is not about whether you can maintain the spell, it's whether you can successfully cast it or not.
Oh, okay. Yep, you're right. I want to go see how... I'm still flying, so I'm going to go fly over here to try to see how far the ledge drops to see if I even need to cast it, if you could climb up or...
Okay, the ledge drops down about 10 feet. One of the larger Yetis could easily climb up this thing, for sure.
What is this? Who is that person?
Okay, yeah, in the corner behind the wall, you can see what appears to be an fairly old, like an oldish looking scraggly man. He is unconscious, laid slumped against the rock.
Shag it! Shag it. Radovan! Marlowe! There's a man
see him.
unconscious in the corner.
Look, we gotta deal with the thing as it approaches. So ready a spell. We're gonna fireball it and blast it to oblivion.
Okay.
We need to do as much damage as we can.
Oh, I see it. Can I cast?
Yep. So go ahead and give me your initiatives because I've got this weird gut feeling you're about to enter combat.
Yeah, I'm still not doing shit because I literally can see barely nothing.
You can't see where we are?
I can barely see you. Like, there's like a very small...
Yeah, because there's the wall and she can only see the glow from your shield.
Well, that's what I'm telling her to approach. So,
right, okay.
Because
so
my shield is shiny.
And... thank you for the host. Vic Shade Technolich. Alright, so we have Kialiana on a 22, Marlowe on a 20, Rado on a 15, which is actually pretty darn good for him. Let's see how... our yeti is going to be. And my yeti going on. Okay. Alright. Oh, what happened there? I think I moved the yeti. Didn't mean to. Okay. Alright, so, technically at the top of the round, Kia, yes, so you can indeed cast a spell if you wish.
Okay, so I see the yeti. Does it look like he's tall enough to just, like, jump up onto the ledge?
This yeti is probably... so the area you are in is 15 feet to the top. It's a 10-foot drop, meaning he is in a 25-foot area. He is probably about 18 to 19 feet tall. So the odds are he will have little to no trouble climbing up that 10-foot ledge.
Okay.
That'd be like, it's about his waist level.
Okay, I'm going to... wow, it has the waist level.
Yeah,
I'm going to cast another wall of fire, and I am going to be doing it. I'm going to make it 20 feet high, and I'll do it right on the ledge there.
Alright.
All the way across.
Okay, so 20 feet high, and you are looking at 25-ish feet distance.
Yes.
Alrighty. Alright, okay, so a huge big wall of flame erupts on the edge of the ledge. And now there's like a blanket wall that goes from ground to ceiling. You can see the kind of dark, shadowy silhouette of the huge creature behind. It's not interested in getting any closer than it has because of the heat that just immediately exudes off of it. So at least for right now, it is being held at bay.
So I'm gonna look to Kia and say, "That's not a fireball."
I can fireball through the wall, maybe. I don't know if I can, but I'll
Marlo,
try.
do you wish to do anything, or...?
He can just jump up and kill us.
Nope.
Can I spell through that wall of fire? I mean...
It depends. You can't see your target, so you could do something that has an AoE effect.
Well, that's what it would
but
be,
you couldn't
and it
really
would be
target something.
Yeah, I mean, it's an area 20-foot radius burst, so it would be an area spell. It wouldn't be very strong because unless this thing is evil, which I doubt.
Right, so
but
that's
it's like
what
my
you're
only
seeing,
offensive
so...
spell. Right.
I think
So
I'll
I'm-
just yell, Marlo. Marlo, grab the person. He's too close to the fire. Please. Please!
So I mean, I honestly, 20 foot. I mean,
The person? I can't see them from where I am.
I would honestly do my spell right here, so it would potentially hit him, but I can't see too far beyond, so I would like right beyond the wall of fire.
The beyond.
I would cast Holy Smite, which is not very strong because if it's not, especially if it's not evil. which is bad.
All right. So ping where you're casting it.
So it would be like right beyond.
Wow, that was 3 8s.
Okay, so you're pinging it right here?
Yeah. So it would be the first one, the 26 damage, which he can, of course, have if he's not evil. And he can have again if he does a willpower.
So 26 would be 13 if he makes a willpower save.
Yeah, it'll be half and half. It's like really not for neutral characters.
And his willpower.
Sure.
He does. So he actually takes so 26
so it's
points
like
of damage.
6 damage. Yeah.
No.
For every evil creature in the area. So he takes half of that is 13.
So Cal takes
and then he
some of it.
saves. So he takes 12. No.
It takes 6.
6, that's right.
6?
Yeah, man. This is a spell for evil people, not neutral monsters.
All right. Okay, the Yeti is not actually doing anything except screaming and bellowing.
Okay.
Kia, what is your plan? Are we fighting this thing or are we just running?
I'm gonna kill it. Marlo, grab the man.
What man?
Turn the corner. He's in the corner.
She can't see.
She has her coin, right? Doesn't she?
Yeah, but she's where she is right now. She's right by the edge of the wall, so the wall is blocking her character's view.
I guess I'll step around the damn wall, and I still can barely see him.
Wait, whose turn is it? Sorry.
All right, but you can see him at least. All right, next round. So let me just do this.
Move forward a little bit.
Oh, and then what? Interesting. Oh, I see why. All right. Okay, Kia.
Okay. I'm gonna cast Fireball where I saw him right before I put up the wall.
Alright, so you're gonna hurl a fireball through.
Yes.
Alrighty, go for it.
And I'll just say this is what I was gonna do, Radovan.
You notice I got big for a reason.
And he makes a reflex save for.
Please fail.
He will
Doesn't last
only take half, so 18. Alright.
Okay.
Oh, he saved?
He did.
I hate it.
Alright,
Stop
okay.
saving.
So you hurl the fireball, it goes blasting through the wall of flames, and you hear it erupt on the other side. And you hear the Yeti let out once more a muffled cry.
Oh, scary.
Alright, it would be Marlo's turn.
I guess I'm gonna run over here and pick up the man.
All right.
Everybody keeps shouting at me about.
He is blistered.
Sorry.
He is covered, like the left-hand side of him, his face, his arm. He is covered in like burn marks and blisters. As soon as you get here, you realize how intense the heat coming off that wall of fire is.
Oh, for
Have
fuck's
2d4
sake.
points of damage. So you take 7 points of damage. Incidentally, since that wall of fire has been there, this guy's been taking that damage every round.
Oh my god.
Oh, for fuck's sake, I'm gonna pick him up.
Because if you are within 10 feet of a wall of fire, you take 2d4 points of damage. And I've got a feeling that your buddy here is like pretty darn close. So you've been slowly cooking him to death.
Fucking hate you, Kia. On so many levels.
Why?
So am I
I'm
able to
saving
pick
your
him up
ass right now.
and back away?
Okay, so you move over there and you're gonna use your action to like pick him up, put him on your shoulders.
Yes.
Now,
Okay.
do I see the burn marks, or should I have to do a spot check?
Probably not from here. She can probably see it because she's right on
Okay.
top of him. But
So I have another spell I'm going to cast on my next turn.
okay, Rado, your turn.
I'm going to use my break enchantment spell section to do a Cure Light Wounds Mass, because I need healing too. I think we all do.
Okay.
So this will go to everybody.
Everybody gets 19 points of Cuthbertarian bliss. All right.
I'm gonna say we need to kill it, Kia.
Thank you for the reminder. I'm doing my best. Like, give him a side glance, like I'm very flustered right now. Trying to concentrate on 2 walls of fire, like
you're cooking.
Start of the next round. Both the man and Marlowe, you will receive 4 damage. Kia, your turn.
Okay. Do I know where it is? Is it like completely? Can we see shadows move?
No, I mean you couldn't see shadows before. You've got a huge wall of fire, and he wasn't that close, so.
All right. Well, I can see he's not there, but I'm probably gonna have to attempt to throw it just to know he's not there. So I would probably throw it in the same area here.
All right. So you would hurl another fireball where you believed him to be. Okay. All right. You hear the fireball rip through, and you hear the. You do not, however, hear the yell or cry of an inflamed and burning yeti. Incidentally, he took more damage than I said he did because he takes an extra 15%. So even though he failed, he actually took a little bit more than what I said.
I'm just gonna go shit, and then I move my 30 feet this way. I'm like, I think he's going around.
Okay. Marlowe, you've got the guy on your shoulders, so where do you want to move to?
I'm running all the way back behind Radovan.
Alright. Show me where you're going, and I'll move him accordingly. Alright, so you drag his unconscious self away from the oven.
He's bad, Radovan.
Alright, Rado,
he got burned by the wall.
Yep. So yeah, looking at him, he is singed. Not terribly badly, but he is somewhat burned and blistered a little bit.
Shit. I'm running out of spells. But hey, that's kind of the point, isn't it? I'm gonna do Cure Light on him, just to one first level spell.
All right.
As he goes by.
He is fully healed.
That was a good roll.
As you're doing that, you hear him. He's like, you bastard, you fucking furry son of a bitch.
Furry.
Yeah.
Love it.
Kia, do you see it?
And he like lashes out instinctively. He like throws a right hook towards Marlowe, just like as an instinctive shock reaction.
She's still invisible though, right? So he's kind of like floating in the air.
Yeah, it's like he just hurls the punch, like, you know, because I mean, he knows something's got hold of him. He feels someone pulling there, but so he's like, ah! And just lashes out. And with that, he pushing his feet backwards, so he's sitting down. But using his hands and his feet, he like scurries himself back up against the edge of the wall, looking rather shocked and panicked, glancing left and right as he does so.
He does see a 12-foot tall man with a horned
he'll see
helmet
your massive, monstrous form, which is probably why he is acting with such shock, surprise, and alarm. All right, what is Radovan going to do?
Well, I cast a spell. I'm just peering through this fire to see if I can see anything. I don't want to like jump through the flames.
What do you do? Well, you can't really see through it. It's a massive wall of burning flames, 20 feet. If something walks close by, you can see like a silhouette or a shape, but you can't physically see through it.
So honestly, I'm gonna have my weapon and shield ready, and I'm gonna say, Kia, do you see it? We're stuck here.
I'm gonna say, I think it's going around. Let me see.
Well, we need to lead it to us so we could beat it down, like we did with the thing that killed the horse.
Right.
Okay.
Well, it will be its turn next.
Oh, I see it.
So let's see.
I wish I could have put the wildfire somewhere else.
Wall deals 2d6 points of damage plus 1 point of damage per caster level. 14, so it's 2d6 plus 4 damage. Alright, okay, so Kia.
Yes.
On its turn.
Okay.
Let me just measure. 20. Okay. So basically, you suddenly see this massive, pissed off, burning effigy come crashing through the fire. Roll 2d6. It takes 2d6 plus 14 damage. And it will actually take 50% more of that.
Oh, here comes Kia's death. Shit.
So,
I am at the very top. I don't know if that'll make it harder for him to hit me.
Well, you're at the most, you're 15 feet up, and it's like 20 feet tall, so you're just within punching range.
Yeah.
All right, so, wow. So 19, and it takes additional 50%, so 29 damage, plus it's already taken that, so... All right, okay. Okay, it comes blasting through the magical flames. Did it put a green dot on? Yeah, there it is. Okay, it's behind it. All right. Comes blasting through the magical flames, seeing you floating there directly in front of it in utter rage and anger. It just reaches forward with both hands and like tries to swat you like you're a fly. So it's making 2 attacks.
You just hear me scream, "Oh God!"
They may not hear that. They may hear.
Oh my God.
It'll hit a 22 and a 27, so it hits you twice.
Mm-hmm.
There goes Kia, dying.
And
I just smushed to the side and die.
You probably won't die, but it won't feel good. For 29 points of damage.
Okay.
It's like half your hit points. The huge claws just tear into you as it comes ripping through. Its shoulders and its waist and all the fur is blackened and singed, and in areas it's still like flickering with flame as it comes charging forward. But clearly this thing has gone from being rational to psychotically distressed. It's like losing its fucking mind. Okay, start of the next round. Kia, you get to go first.
Alright.
You need a 39 or above to cast a spell.
No. No. I'm going to, I'm going to disengage.
Okay, you're going to use a disengage action to move back? Okay.
Yeah.
Full action.
I'm going to say, help!
Help, help, I'm being repressed! Fly away, fly away, fly away. Alright, so you use
where are you
disengaging
disengaging to?
Alright, Marlo,
right
this
there.
is actually the last round of your invisibility. After this, you will be visible.
I'm just going to yell, "It's mad! It's really mad!"
I do believe we pissed it off. Alright, Marlo, it's up to you.
I can't see shit. Still.
Anything?
Well, no, because again, if you look at the wall and the angles...
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, you know where it is. Like,
She knows that she knows where the corner of the wall is, and she knows somewhere around that corner is a really big, pissed off parental yeti.
The most I can do if I dash over there is get one hit in. That's not going to be enough to help me when I reappear and it takes my head off. So
that's true.
I'm actually going to hiss at the man to get away from there because he's going to get totaled, and then I'm going to actually dart over here behind where Kia's at.
Okay. I'm going to make a dice roll for this guy.
I mean, surely he heard the roar and the
I'm going to make a wisdom check.
Please,
all right.
please, thank God.
So basically, it's like he sees a completely giant 12-foot foreboding-looking man that he has never seen before with a huge big mace, which is pretty terrifying. And to the left of him, he knows there's this huge, big, massive, flaming yeti. So his wisdom is enough to where he has decided to take his chances, and he is crawling on all fours over to here.
I stomp on him. No.
Wrong decision, dude.
All right.
All right, Radovan.
I am going to take a 5-foot step with knowing my reach is now 10 feet. So
Right.
I'm bigger.
Uh-huh.
And I'm going to hold my action for a full attack the second it rounds the corner. I want to whack it.
All right. Well, you
does
are
that.
not disappointed. The thing comes tearing straight round the corner towards you. As it rears the corner, you see the huge, big, white, furry, singed monstrosity. So go right ahead and waylay it.
Oh, no power attack or additional attacks. I wish I could. All right, full attack.
Look at all those friggin' dice. You hit it once
Shit,
for 16.
Oof.
that's painful.
All right. Oh,
I rolled a 4 to 9, you bastard. All right.
okay. So you wait for it and smack it hard with your mace. It is then the Yeti's turn. Seeing you in the way, being the only thing that needs to really be dealt with in this short period of time, it is going to launch 2 attacks at you with its mighty claws.
One
Ooh,
hit.
yes.
All right.
My AC is 22. Yes.
Whew, 2. So lucky.
All right. Its claws rake across you for 11 points of damage,
Whoa. Woo.
opening up
Wait, are you?
a small gash in your left shoulder.
Oh, I thought I was expecting more damage. But usually I get hit twice, so it's
Yeah,
like
normally you do.
more.
It does 2d4 plus 8 damage with a claw.
I was expecting to see another 16. I was going to be like, oh god. All right.
All right, top of the round. Marlo, you are no longer invisible, but it's Kia's turn first. What do you want to do?
Hey.
Unless
Okay.
Marlo is... Oh, no, you moved, didn't you? That's what you did. Okay.
Okay, so I am 15 feet in the air.
So you are basically... Your head is 15 feet in the air, because it's a 15-foot tall ceiling. So
Yeah.
your body is like 10 feet off the ground.
Okay, so I'm gonna just fly about 5 feet this way, just to
Hover above.
see better.
So you're going to hover over Radovan's shoulder.
Well,
Basically.
I mean, I'm 12 feet if the ceiling's 15 feet.
Yeah, so
There's a lot
she's
of
going to
room.
be like right
Okay,
there,
I'm gonna be like,
hovering
hey!
with
With a
the
perch
floor.
on my shoulder.
I'm gonna
Is that
perch
right?
on your shoulder,
Okay.
and then
Hopefully a little
I'm going
devil.
to estimate. Okay, about. I'm going to do another fireball, but it's 20-foot radius. I'm going to do it knowing that it'll. I don't want it to hit them, so I'm going to do it about, like right over here.
Does Kia have a ruler to measure? I mean,
No, but I mean, I guess I
and
would just
Kia
guess.
has to fire in a straight line, right? You can only
Huh?
fire what you can see. So can you see that from there? Let me see.
Yeah, there's a little yeti
Let me
that's
move.
dead.
I can't. I gotta click on Radovan to see. I gotta move Radovan. Okay, yeah, you can see to kind of like where that is. Okay, yeah, that's
yeah,
cool.
so, and I'm going to actually use my feet and power spell and use it 2 slots above.
Okay.
That should give it plus like 50% or something like that.
If you empower it, the actual it gives you an extra 50% on the
0.5.
dice roll.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm going to use that.
All right.
All right.
So it's 43 points of damage. So actually you're going to add about 22 to that. So 40, 50, 65 is what the fireball will do as it's empowered. He makes his reflexive save.
And then immediately I'm going to go hide over here.
Which he fails, so
Yes!
he takes a full 65 points
Great.
of damage. Okay, the fireball lands behind him. It's a huge, big, like burst of fire, like erupts directly behind it. Okay, that's better. That one, much better. Okay, all right, 65 plus. The power of the blast throws the thing forward. It kind of bounces off of Radovan's shield and smacks against the wall. It lands face down on the ground in incineration. Its entire back is hairless. It's like just a huge, big, bald, black, two huge, big Yeti-ass cheeks in the air as it lays flat down, no fur. It is dead. You have totally blown it to smithereens with your empowered fireball.
Before I reduce, I'm just going to bring my mace into the back of its head until it is mush.
Gonna make sure it's dead?
I'm bashing its fucking head in, basically.
Hey, we could have put that on our wall of heads.
And apparently my victory theme no longer works. That's interesting.
I'm gonna run over to this man. Hey, you okay?
Alright, he kind of like, as soon as you run towards him, he backs further into the corner, like clambering over the semi-eaten deer.
I'm not gonna hurt you. Are you Brannick Skein, perhaps?
Oh, what is going on here? What did I just do? Okay, there we go.
Brannick.
Alright, he kind of like looks like really kind of like his eyes are darting around. He's obviously somewhat confused, bewildered, and terrified. And he's like, I'm Brannick Skein. Where are we?
Where are we? I'm gonna give him my best, like, sweetest, high charisma smile, calming smile.
Your high charisma
and be like,
smile.
Everything's gonna be okay.
I'm gonna lumber over Kia, and you're just gonna see
massive 12-foot man.
you're just gonna see. I'm gonna reach out and like gingerly hand the dagger that was gifted to me, and I'm gonna hand it to you, Kia, and then I'm gonna say, "Lower the firewall."
Oh, right. I'm gonna look at the firewall and go, so it disappears.
And you are suddenly infected with all manner of spyware and viruses.
I'm just gonna drop down and investigate this section to see if there's anything.
All right. There's a bunch of bones down there, but beyond that, no. It's pretty much just another ledge.
Okay. So I'm gonna climb up, and then by then my righteous might goes away, so I'm normal size.
Oh. Wow. Okay.
So you handed me the dagger?
Oh. Mm-hmm.
Okay. I'm gonna just show Brannick and say, Chieftain Alistair sent us. See?
He kind of looks at you. He's looking at the dagger. Alistair? Alistair who?
McCallum.
Alistair McCallum?
McCallum.
How do you even know I was here? How
He
do you
told
know
us where you might be.
Carpet monsters took me?
Well, we found where you live, and we tracked the monsters to this cave. We didn't know you'd still be alive, but we're glad you're alive.
If you'd have been another day, I don't think I would have been. They've
How
been
long have
eating
you been
steady
here?
on this big old deer, like here, this big old elk. And
Jeez.
the way that they were eyeballing me, I think I was next on the menu.
Oh no. Well, I'm glad we found you in time. My name is Kiliana.
Well, you already seem to know my name. What about you, big fella? What's your name?
He's not usually that big, by the way.
And that's what she said.
He's
my name
really normal sized.
My name is. Shut the fuck up. My name is Radovan Vernier.
Not that I know. I don't know. I'd like to know.
This is like a never-ending stream of consciousness going on here. Well, my name is Radovan Vernier. Hello.
He's like, we should get out of here. There's more of those things, you know. There's several of them.
Oh yes, we found them. They're dead.
It was not exactly easy getting back here, but we were successful.
Well, I don't know about you, but I got no interest in bloody well staying. Let's get the hell out of here.
Is this guy dressed at all, or does he still have his clothes on? I mean,
he has fairly torn up clothing. He still has his Skein sash. You know the McCullums, their sash is kind of different colored blues. This is more like reds and oranges. But even that's a bit tatty. He clearly hasn't shaved in a while. He's kind of really rough and rugged. So
I'm going to take off one of my winter cloaks, and I'm going to toss it to him. I'm going to say it's cold. You're going to need this.
Well, as you say that, he moves over to this thing and feverishly begins to go to work with the knife that you threw him.
Yay!
And he is skinning the yeti.
Or
at least a big part of it.
And that's Marlo over there, by the way. I'm going to point to Marlo sitting in the corner.
He kind of acts in shock and surprise, because he didn't really see her crouched back there. He's like, are there any more of you? Hiding in the dark.
Ah, yes. I'm going to take Cal out. This is Cal.
Cal's like, hey,
what's up?
So he didn't accept my cloak? He basically went to skin...
No, he took it, but he threw it over his shoulder, and then he's gone over and has started skinning. Mad Chad, thanks for the follow, buddy. He kind of goes over and starts to cut some of the yeti fur away from it. Clearly, the way he's hacking at it doesn't look like he's really trying to skin it professionally in any way. It looks more like he's just trying to get a piece of yeti fur.
Do those sell for a lot? Brannick. Yeti fur.
Dunno. Never seen a yeti before.
Huh. That's the case. I'm gonna go over help him.
Okay, well, he kind of cuts away just a large section around the forearm. Most of this yeti is singed, is burnt. There's not good quality fur left.
What about a horn? Can I try to get a horn off?
If you want to cut a yeti horn off, yeah, go right ahead.
All right, I'm gonna attempt to cut a yeti horn off its head.
Okay, so you hack a yeti horn off.
Dagger, I guess.
Should be made easier since I bash its head in.
That might take a little bit of trying to saw through a huge, big, ginormous yeti horn. It was going to take you a while with a dagger, but you will succeed eventually.
Okay, I'll probably use something better. I'm sure someone's got something.
Okay, so about 15 minutes later, Kia has a yeti horn, and Brannock has a large, probably about a 3x3 square-ish piece of yeti fur.
Is anybody still hurt?
I'm fine.
I feel fine.
Great.
A little bit of a headache, but beyond that.
My insides hurt and my outsides.
You're like a little kid. Got a boo-boo. Alright, I'm gonna do this for Kia. Because she needs
9
it.
points
Thanks.
healed by the good graces of St. Cuthbert.
Awesome.
Alright.
I would do it again, Kia, but...
It's okay, save it.
If we encounter something else, yeah.
It's fine. I'm gonna carve out the inside of this horn and make a little goblet.
Okay, so you're gonna dig out all the marrow and the bone or whatever.
Not right now.
The ultimate goal is to make yourself like a Yeti horn goblet.
Yeah,
okay,
that's so awesome. Attach straps to it, put it around me.
Sure,
awesome.
why not? Okay. Alright, so Brannock follows you. Are you guys just leaving? You're heading out?
I Yeah, we're gonna be careful. I'm gonna like check corners for more yetis.
Right. Well, there does not appear to be any more yetis other than the ones that you butchered, feverishly on your way in. Okay, so you know what? Let me go and get your buddy. I better grab him. Get him out my yeti. Okay. So you leave out of the cave entrance with Brannock following you back. He kind of shields his eyes. Clearly he's been here for a while.
Okay.
He kind of shields his eyes as he hits the sunlight.
Can you move us to that map?
Nah. There you go. Right, yeah, so you all emerge. Remembering that somewhere, southwest of here is Brannock's hut, which is where your friend James Beecham is holding down the fort.
Obviously, we're going to warn him that there is a man in his cottage, and he is a friend.
I'll have Cal lead us back since he let us.
Well, we hope there's still a man in his cottage.
Right.
All right, so you guys are going to head straight back there?
Yes.
Okay. Does not take you that long to get back. You arrive back at Beecham's, back at the cottage where you left Beecham. There we go. All right, the window that was previously busted in is now closed. It appears that Beecham has done his best to close that up.
Okay.
No, we mended it too, so that probably helps.
Yeah.
Oh, gotcha. Okay, so we'll step inside. Well, actually, maybe knock, so he doesn't freak out. Beecham, it's us.
Oh, well, I wasn't expecting you quite so soon, but come on inside. The fire's roaring. All right,
You had fun playing house?
We'll take you
I'm gonna
back
go in
inside.
through the window.
Why not? Okay.
Gonna...
All right. So you all enter back into this little ramshackled place. Brannock
sit down
Skein
against
kind of
the
glances
wall.
around and breathes a final sigh of relief. Oh, it's good to be back. And with that, he goes and takes this large pelt off of the rack and goes and throws his piece of yeti skin over it to dry instead.
Well, what happened? Were you just asleep when they took you, or what?
No, I was in the middle of cooking my supper. I heard a strange, weird noise outside, and I went over to the window and heard something crawling around out there. So I moved back and got my bow and poised ready, and suddenly it smashed through the shutters. I fired the arrow, but I missed my mark. And the next thing I know, before I had time to grab my axe, this thing come charging in. It must have been like 7 foot tall, and it grabbed me, and I struggled, but it dragged me out the window. And once we were out there, I saw that this was just a small, shallow version of the terrible things that awaits as a huge, big, monstrous, 15-foot tall carpet monster grabbed me up, and before I had any chance to realize what was going on, it squeezed the breath out of me and I passed out unconscious. I come to in the pitch black. I could hear them crawling around, but I couldn't see nothing. And then I could smell some rancid smell. And I could hear them munching away on something, the grindings of bones and the rippings of flesh. And when you came in and illuminated the area, I could see what it was. It was the deer, that big elk that was laying in the corner. That must have been what they were supping on. Well, it's plain to obvious to realise that if you hadn't have come when you did, I'd surely have been next. So, my deepest thanks and gratitude to you for showing up when you did.
Of course.
Well, there was a chance we could have been here last night. Or the night before, but we met some dwarves on the road and we couldn't find your cottage right away. We were actively looking for it, you see, and
perhaps we could have helped prevented the whole situation.
That's what I'm thinking. Like maybe we were just like a night too late.
Well, it was late yesterday evening when they grabbed me. So you might be right if you had shown up a day sooner. But then, you'd have just been here when the brutes arrived.
Well, I am sorry that we weren't there for that. I mean, we could have lost you. Something we have to just realize.
Well, no harm, no foul. My head's still on my shoulders.
I just...
Yeah.
It's just... we spent that night telling stories, Kia Marlowe.
Out of curiosity, what brought you bunch of Armadans come crashing through the woods to find me in the first place? And you said Alistair McCullum sent you. I haven't seen Alistair McCullum for... must be nigh on 7 or 8 months.
Well, yes. There's actually something we were hoping you could do for us as a favor.
I mean, you saved my life. It would be a little rude for me to deny you pretty much anything.
Well, you see, we came in through the McCullums, the family, to the west. To the west, right?
Right, so you come by way of Dunedain then?
Correct.
Yes.
And Alistair basically told us to meet with you because we needed to get on good terms with the Skein family in the settlements to the east.
So you're after going to Skein, Brook then?
Correct.
Well, at the very least, we're trying to... Our end game is a little vague at the moment. We're still trying to work it out as a group.
We need at least an introduction.
Well, yes.
Introduction to who? To
the chieftain.
The chieftain?
Maratak Skein. And you expect me to do that?
Well,
maybe perhaps someone who seems like maybe you're not on the best terms with him. Maybe?
Well, quite honestly, I don't know what terms we are on.
Well, what is the reason for you living out here all by yourself and away from these guys, from the Skein family?
Well, I had a bit of a wee falling out with Aidan Skein, so I did. He's the local chieftain. And, well, we were supposed to meet out in front of the old fort the following morn for a wee bit of a duel, so we were. But, truth be told, it was a drunken tongue that got me into the trouble in the first place, and I'm no match for a Aidan Skein when it comes to a duel with a sword. So...
And I imagine this duel would be to the death.
Aye.
For the offences levied.
So, don't get me wrong, I'm no coward, but I didn't really see the point in just throwing my life away either. So with the option of dueling Aidan Skein out in front of the fort and almost definitely getting myself skewered, I decided that maybe a hermit's life would be a little bit more to my liking. Considering the fact that even though a hermit's life is not exactly grand, it is in fact life.
I have a question. If you went back, would they still make you do the duel?
Well, if I go back, I'm probably going to be ridiculed and outcast and called all kinds of unpleasant names. And if Aiden Skein finds me, no doubt he's going to demand satisfaction.
Another question. Does anyone ever... Can you ever pick someone to fight for you as your champion or something of the nature?
Hell no!
No.
What sort of coward's way would that be? Somebody offends you, and you get someone bigger. Well, you get your brother to fight for you, do you? Oh, you're a bit too tough for me, but I'm going to get my dad onto you. Yeah, no, that's not going to work. It was my drunken tongue that got me into that mess. It was expected to be my sword hand to get me out of it.
What if we reworked reality to your liking, if you will? What if you, with the yeti fur and the horn that Kia, for some inexplicable reason, decided to scalp, which I've never seen her do before. What if you went there and claimed to have been kidnapped by some yetis, and you saved our lives, and you killed the family, and you had that as evidence?
Lie.
Well,
rather than fight to the death, gives us
a
an
matter
in as
of
well.
honor.
Well, the point being that the answer would be, well, what a grand and bonny tale. Now, I'll see you at dawn with a sword in your hand. Because that has no bearing on the wrongdoings that I bestowed upon Aiden Skein. Satisfaction would still have to be met.
Is there anything else Aiden would accept? Perhaps it'd be gold or something else?
Unfortunately, probably not. You see, with him in line to be the next chief, truth is, his name is worth far more and his honor is worth far more than gold or coin or shiny bits of jewelry. The best I can do is happily lead you to Skein. I can tell you where Murtak lives and point you in the right direction, but honestly, if you're looking for me to make an introduction, well, in all honesty, it's probably either going to be suicide for me or instant disrespect for your good selves for associating with swords.
Well, McCollum said that without an inn, we would be disrespected anyway.
Well,
that the Skeins were not as friendly as the McCollums, to outsiders especially. We just showed up.
No disrespect, Sarah, but I think this would be worse, Radovan.
Is there anybody that still likes you in town?
Aye, there'll be people that still possibly tolerate my presence, but not in public. No, most of them would have to denounce me in public, at least.
Is that the only way you can regain your honor?
Personally, I don't give a rat's ass about my honor. If I did, I would never have fled in the first place. No, it's Aiden that's honor that you have to worry about.
See, Marlo of our party is the most concerned with honor. For good reason, of course. It's just...
You don't care about your honor.
I think that in a world so savage and brutal and dangerous, survival is best done together.
Here, lad. I mean, it's all very well to stand on pretenses and, be all full of piss and wind. But at the end of the day, when you're worm food, you're worm food.
I just don't see value in a culture that allows drunken stupidity to dictate whether a person is going to fight to the death or not, or have to run away.
To understand. It was my choice to drink too heavily, and it was my drunken turn that called his wife a fat sow. And at that point, I'm not at all surprised that Aiden got a little bit upset.
I understand that, but the amount of times that Kia and Marlo and myself, we have said things to each other that would be borderline duel-worthy in declaration, but we come from a different place where that's not the way of things.
Well, unfortunately, up here...
No, it comes down to if you're going to own what you did.
There are other ways to own what you did than fighting to the death. Be
Maybe
labor,
not in
be
his
a
culture.
public... I understand that, but... I just don't... This doesn't...
So, Bronek, if you can't give us an introduction, perhaps you can just give us information on how to make a name for ourselves.
Maybe we're going about this the wrong way.
I'm listening.
Well, the truth is, Aidan Skein felt slighted by my good self. So perhaps, what if you was to say that you come across me, and perhaps in a drunken state I called either you or you, Miss Marlowe, something of a defamatory fashion. And
she doesn't like to be
perhaps
called a horse face.
Mr. Radovan come to your defence and bashed my skull in with that big walloper of his.
I'm going to stop you right there.
Fake?
Arlo's, her fists alone are more deadly than this weapon you see in front of you.
I understand, but the point being, if you tell them, if you spin yourself a yarn that you met one of them,
and that you're dead,
kin, and he insulted you, and you put him in the grave, then maybe Aidan Skein might look upon you somewhat kindly for that. Now, you do understand we are jesting here, right? This is not we're not actually going to go through with this ruse. This is just a story.
I'm not okay with that.
It's just another way of lying.
What happens if he's traveling this way one day and he sees you and then realizes we did nothing of the sort?
Well,
then we'll never win their respect.
Yeah, but you'll be long gone by then.
But what you're saying is if I beat the shit out of you, it will get his respect.
No, don't beat the shit out of me. I'm saying don't do that at all. Just say you did.
I'd rather just beat the shit out of you, because then I wouldn't be lying.
Well, then let's
But you didn't do anything to me.
Let's say that the big man here did it. It'll be more believable anyway.
You're Bronek, you're confusing. And granted, we're strangers to you, so you don't know us, and I will forgive you that. But you don't understand that I don't mind being insulted as a defamation of my honor as much as Marlowe does regarding honor itself and the notions of honor. I am a man of law. I still don't fully grasp the customs and laws of this place, but I have to accept that it's a thing and it exists. And honestly, I think any way you go about this with the lies, which is easier for sure, it will eventually get found out and be for the worse for all of us.
And we need long-lasting
well
connections here.
Then, as
not
I said,
just passing through.
I can take you and show you your way safely to Skein, but other than let you know who's who and who lives where, I can't do much else about it.
You must know what makes them give respect. How do we earn their respect?
Beating 9
Apparently
bales
not
of shite
calling
out
his
of
wife
somebody
a
will earn their
sow.
respect, for sure. But this isn't about respect. This is the fact that I disrespected him and robbed him of the opportunity to regain his honor. I'm not welcome there anymore.
Thanks, Alistair.
And nothing will convince you to follow through with this barbaric custom.
Barbaric.
If I thought I had a
he's
chance
living as
of
a
winning
coward,
the damn duel, then yeah, I'd run the bastard through in a heartbeat.
Well,
But
what
the
if we
truth
were
is-
to teach you?
Yeah, understand. I'm a blacksmith's son. My grandfather and my
strong.
father before me was a blacksmith. Aidan Skein, since the time he was a wee boy, has been learning to fight with a sword in preparation to be either chief or war chief. He's got 27 years of swordsmanship under his belt, and quite honestly, except for Donald Skein, the war chief, there's nobody you're going to find in Brook that could even come close to holding a candle in battle against Aidan.
It's a matter of what you can live with, Radovan. He can live with being a coward. He couldn't...
Yeah, I can't live with being dead.
Some might think that living as a coward is worse than being dead.
Yeah, some might. I don't.
Is his wife a cow? Was your words truthful?
In my own defense, I did not, in fact, call her a cow. Well, I said that she was a fat sow, which is kind of a female peg.
Oh,
And the thing is, if I'd have just called her a sow, no one would have probably argued it was the fact that I cast aspersions about her weight that upset the man. Because she's really not that big.
I see.
Pig ugly, mind. But not that big.
How long ago was this incident? How long have you been living out here?
Oh, about a year. Yeah, full winter.
And the Skeins hold grudges. They have long memories, like the dwarves, correct? This is not something that you'll ever be able to return to unless it is to fight.
Pretty much.
God, I miss her. Cuthbert, I miss Arconis.
It
Arconis makes sense.
We should leave this man.
As I said...
I understand you want to help him and you want to help us even more, but...
Well, I want to help you, but... As I said, I'll happily take you to Skein. I'm not the man you need to make an introduction to either Murder, Aidan, or Donnan.
Do you have an in with anyone that could give us an introduction? Anybody at all?
Truth is, what would they say? That the coward come and visited them and brought some strangers with him and asked for them to make an introduction.
Well, McCollum said that there was some consternation between the two families, the clans. Which is why he suggested we go to you. We seek you out.
Aye, well, as I said, 7 or 8 months ago, I met with Aidan and talked, not Aidan, but Alistair and talked to him. But truth be told, I don't believe Alistair truly knows the reason for me leaving. I told him that I just got a little bit tired of living in amongst the rest of the Skein clan and wanted a little bit of peace and quiet. He doesn't actually know the entire situation.
Well, believe it or not, we thought you were a were creature.
A what?
I'm going to be chuckling as I say it.
I'm more of a hare creature than a were creature.
Well,
we're wasting time.
Marlo, you're right. I just don't think, if anything, you should not be out here by yourself.
Well, I've been fine up until them damn nasty carpet monsters showed up.
If he was worried about being by himself, he wouldn't have left.
Well, perhaps you should go to the McCollum family and join them.
Quite honestly, I've been preferring to be here by myself. Up until the events of yesterday, that is.
Well, I guess tomorrow...
I'm in your debt. If you want me to lead you to Skein, I'll happily do so. And then...
Well, that's what we'll do tomorrow. We'll do that tomorrow. It's the best. I mean, I got nothing else. So you'll lead us to Skein tomorrow. You'll keep hidden. We won't claim to have met you. We'll just enter town like we always do and try to make friends where we can.
Well, that's what we'll do then. Well, it isn't much,
at making friends.
Make yourselves at home. I wish I had something fresh and worth eating to offer you for supper, but I don't.
No worries. I'm gonna sit down on the bear rug and sprawl out on it.
Well, he climbs and kind of like lays down on the new rug that he recently just cured. If any of you want to sleep on the bed, you're more than welcome. At which point, Beecham kicks off his boots and lays on the bed.
I'm just going to sit here next to the fire and kind of sulk a little bit.
All right.
Yeah, that's
sulky
what I'm
action
doing.
going on.
Like, I'll let Kel out to roam and have water or whatever.
All right.
I'm actually gonna go outside and build a fire. I don't want to be in here with this man.
All right. So you're gonna basically make yourself a fire in the outside fire pit.
Yeah.
Alrighty.
He's bringing up bad memories. I don't want to be in here with him.
Okay. Well, that's a great place for us to take a short break. And the following morning, you want to head to Skein, I'm guessing.
Let's do it.
All right. Well, Brannock wraps himself up good and warm and douses his fires, throws away all the rotten meat, buries it in a hole in the ground, closes the place up, and says, "It's about a day from here. If we get going nice and early, we can get you there before it gets too dark."
Yes, please.
All right.
So, we headed out?
Let's do this.
All right. Okay. All right. So you leave bright and early and head out towards Skein. Well, true to his word, it is about late afternoon when you arrive.
Whoa,
at the town
cool.
of Skein. Skein, by the time you get there, you have definitely noticed that. What is going on here? Okay, I see. And let me just move that fraction more.
The whole way there, Marlo was incredibly quiet.
Okay.
Okay.
Well, the other thing is, as you on the way there, you've noticed that today has been a pretty heavy, thick kind of. Did I build this wrong?
Radovan also gets his dagger back. Because this is like his only way of saying to the McCollums, we're friends, we're good people. So, yeah. He wants it back.
Alright, let me just fix this. For some reason, it's not scaling right. There we... No, it's just not scaling right. It's really weird. Very, very strange. Well, you know what? I can fix that real quick. Where's my map? Right.
And welcome back, Optimal.
That should have solved that problem. More or less. And one more. Okay, there we go. Alright. Okay, yeah, so basically, you've kind of come out of the woods, and it has been a steady downpour of snow all day. Like thick, cold, freezing snow. The kind that you kind of, with the wind blowing or whatever, it's almost like you've been walking through a blizzard. So by the time you finally make it to Skein, you guys are pretty damn freezing. Anyone that didn't have protection from elements on them, at the very least, your teeth are chattering, your eyes are kind of like you've got that little, kind of like little frosticles that are growing on your eyelashes, your lips are chapped. It is miserable out there. So yeah,
I didn't cast Endure Elements.
Okay, so by the time you get to Skein, it's not just frosty ground. You guys are wading through about 1.5 feet of snow.
We have snowshoes, right? We put those on. They help.
They do. They help you. I mean, they help you stay above the snow instead of sinking down into it for sure. So by the time you get to the entrance, or not really the entrance, but kind of like the area that, beyond, you can see all the buildings and stuff. You can see Skein is kind of like a building, or a town on 2 levels. There's this bottom part, which is kind of like where the open fields are. And then it kind of goes along, and then there's a steep hill that kind of goes up, and a road that kind of veers off to the left and then rears around the top of the hill. Even against the squinting, even as you're squinting against the cold and the snow and the wind, in the far distance you can see what appears to be the large fortified walls of some large castle or keep way up on the hill in the distance.
We would probably have asked him to point out if there was a drinking hall.
Right, so
there's no tavern or inn.
As you get there,
we'll find it ourselves. We don't need him.
Marlo, he's here to show us.
We don't need him.
He's like, well, if you don't need me, then I'm heading back. This weather is incredibly unpleasant.
Just point us in the direction of the tavern.
I'm just walking up into town. I'm not stopping to wait.
He looks and
I want to get away from him as fast as possible.
What the hell did I do to piss in her Wheaties?
She has some problems with honor.
Well, her honor's gonna get her and you two killed if she behaves like that in Skein, I'm telling you. I'm not afeard of aiding Skein for nothing.
We'll talk to her.
He says, you best do more than that. If you can't rein that attitude in. And she picks a fight with Aiden or Dannon. I know you say she's a dab hand and all, but I've seen Aiden Skein kill 12 men. And I'm talking 12 good men.
Just... let's not talk about this anymore. I don't think your opinion will account for anything regarding Marlo and what she's been through. No offense, but hey.
And none taken. You can ignore me all you want. Appreciate your time, and thanks once again for saving me.
Point us, where's the tavern or drinking hall, and can I have my dagger back, please?
Oh, okay. I thought that was a gift. Never mind. Here you go.
Thanks.
As for a tavern, follow the road. It'll rear round to the right. You go past the old fort. Just follow it all the way in the building. It'll be the last one on the way out of town on the left that's not burnt to the ground.
And I'm guessing all the important people live in that shiny, walled castle up there.
Well, that's where the Murtar lives, the chief. And Aiden and Donna live there too. But
Murtar.
Well, y'all have a fantastic stay here in Skein, and I doubt I'll be seeing any of you again. So y'all take care.
You too. Stay safe.
And he kind of wraps himself up and heads back. He kind of like takes a few steps, stops, looks back, and you just see him like shake his head and carry on walking.
Alright, yes, we'll catch up to Marlo.
Well, by now, Marlo is kind of like walking up the road by this large wooden fence. And you get to kind of like this, a split in the road, so you can either go left kind of up the hill or carry on straight through the center of town.
Gonna go straight. Yes, Marlo, he's gone. He was out of line talking about you. Oh, you weren't there for that, but we put him in his place. I really
don't care what he had to say.
I understand. He was out of line to some degree, so we put him in his place. Don't worry.
It wasn't about him.
Understood. The drinking hall is this way, and I'm going to point down the road, not going up the hill, but straight ahead.
All right. Is that the way you're going to go?
Shall we, guys? Because
Yes.
I need to get indoors.
Please.
All right.
We're going to go straight.
Okay, well, you follow the main road all the way along till eventually it just takes a sharp turn to the right. You can see, like, there's a fairly large pond out across the fields, but it is just frozen solid. It's like glazed over. Immediately as you kind of turn the corner, you can see what looks like a very old and dilapidated stone keep. The main walls themselves are they're still there. There's the rudimentary parts of a tower, and there's some ruined walls on the outside that would depict where there was once more of the building, but this is long, long since been, has seen its better days for sure.
Looks like it was burned down. Is that the thing the guy was talking about?
It doesn't look like it's burnt down. It just looks like it's just dilapidated. I mean, unless you guys want to literally go over and start examining it to try to figure out what happened. It's just the walls are crumbled.
Nah.
You can't really see. I mean, it's getting pretty late now. It's kind of like late evening. It's hard enough to see as it is. It's more like just a shadowy black shape in the distance as you shield your eyes from the blowing winds.
I think we all need to get inside because I think we're freaking cold. So,
all right,
let us go to where the mirth is, the drunken buffoonery.
Well, eventually, as you're heading down, you can see there's like a building that's got like rails out front that you might expect people to tie horses to, but there are no horses to be seen. You can hear some mirth and merriment coming from inside the building. Right past there is another building which is barely standing. It's probably about a third of the roof is still there, and it looks like it did indeed at some point burn to the ground, but not recently.
Okay, interesting. We'll walk in.
Alrighty.
I'm gonna reluctantly follow. Kind of like stealing myself,
Respect, everybody. Don't say anything you'd say to your mother.
Well, that doesn't
What?
mean much.
Sorry, probably wrong crowd. We're probably all orphans. Just ignore me.
You think I'm gonna pick a fight?
Let's see. Okay.
I don't know what you're capable of right now.
What do you mean?
All right, let's take
You get
inside.
into moods sometime, Marlo. I get nervous.
Kia, it wasn't about him.
Okay. If it wasn't about him, why did she have to be so mean to him?
I wasn't trying to be mean. I didn't.
All right. So you walk into the building. This is actually, unlike the last drinking hole you came to, this actually has a flight of stairs that looks like there may be an upstairs and possibly the promise of rooms. It's a fairly plain establishment. Kind of glancing around, there's no more people here than there was in the town before, inside the tavern. You can see that most of them, although not all, have the kind of red and orange tartan sash that was the same as what Branagh was wearing. So these people are obviously Skein's kinsmen. However, there are a few people that don't necessarily look like they're maybe from this clan. You recognize up at the tavern someone wearing a familiar sash of the McCullum colors. And there are a few people wearing no sash at all. Ironically, right in the center appear to be a male and female dwarf.
Hey!
The female dwarf has got blonde hair that comes all the way down to her knees in like two big long braided pigtails. The dwarf looks like he's got a thick grey beard that kind of hangs down below his navel. But he has the worst brown toupee you have ever seen. It's like, you can, just looking at it, it's obviously fake hair. There's no hiding it. He's like, you can see sitting there, he's got a hammer on the table, like a hand hammer. And he has a finely carved walking cane that's kind of like leaning up against the chair next to him. You walk in, immediately everybody kind of like looks at you, and you, unlike the last place where they really didn't bat an eyelid, you feel like numerous pairs of eyes are gazing at you with icy stares.
I ignore everybody, not even paying attention, and just walk right over to a table.
I think we claim that table, Beecham. I'm gonna go over there. We'll get the drinks and the merriments.
Yes, whatever you think.
I'm going to head over to the barman.
If you wouldn't mind, getting me something hot to drink. No alcohol for me, thank you. But I'll be over here.
Beecham.
And he kind of walks away from you, uncharacteristically quiet, and sits down here next to Kia, and kind of like just sinks into his chair a little bit.
Beecham? What's wrong?
Oh, nothing at all.
No, something's definitely off, I can tell.
Let's get something to eat and drink, and perhaps see if we can't find a nice
Beecham?
quiet room.
Do you recognize somebody here?
No, not at all. But I recognize that hostile look.
Oh, just ignore it. What else can we do?
This is, well, no, quite. That's just why, as I said, I'd have to get something in my stomach, and, well, perhaps off to a room as quickly as possible. If you don't mind, I see that there's a chair free by the fire. I'm going to make my way over there.
Sure.
And Beecham goes and sits in this rocking chair. You make your way to the bar, Radovan. So, a large kind of thick four-armed individual, kind of like with balding hair and just kind of like Captain Picard-style hair with like thick brown, bushy curls at the back. At one point, this guy probably had a thick brown head of curly hair, but it's since receded all the way to the back. As he pours a drink and slams it on the table and hands it to the next person, he looks at you and just waits for you to speak. It doesn't like utter a word, just looking at you.
4 meals of your finest, and 4 drinks of a hot nature, maybe soup or the like, and 4 rooms. This lovely establishments, if you have them. That's it.
That'll be 2
I'm gonna kind of lean in.
And 6 silver, please.
I'm gonna give 2 gold and 7 silver.
All right.
Put it on the table.
He takes the 2 gold and 6 silver, and he slides the 1 back to you with his finger. Like with one finger, he slides it back across the table.
This for you. It's a tip for your wonderful service.
He kind of looks at you. He pours an extra glass of mead, slides it in front of you, and then takes the coin. With
Thank
that,
you.
he says, up the stairs. Not the first on the left, but the 2 past it, and the first 2 on the right are free.
Thank you. That'll be great. I'm going to take all that I can handle, and I'm going to slowly go back and forth to everybody, delivering like a maid or like a servant. Yes.
He opens this back door, and you hear him yell. He goes, 4 bowls of stew, 4 cups of soup. Make it quick. And then he goes back to the bar.
I'm going to nod and give Beecham... Well, I have nothing hot to give yet, right? Because it's been ordered. So I'm actually just going to go back to my table with the drinks that we have.
All right. Okay.
My diplomacy's getting a little better, guys.
Beecham is just sitting there, kind of rocking backwards and forwards slowly in the chair, warming himself against the blazing hot fire. Got his feet extended towards the fire itself, and he's just like...
You get anything out of him?
Diplomacy? What?
Say again?
What? Your diplomacy's getting better?
Well, the guy didn't insult me. That's a step up.
That is a step.
In interactions that I have had in places like this. I'm going to slowly look around as I say this. Not to see if anyone's looking, but just to see the company that we're keeping.
There's some dwarves over there.
And the McCullum gentleman over there.
That's good.
It takes him about 5 minutes later, and you hear a banging on the bar. Stew up! Soup up!
I'm going to get up and walk over and nod. And
All right. And there's basically 4 wooden bowls with spoons in, and then there's 4 smaller wooden bowls. Basically, you have a big bowl of stew and then a small bowl of soup. Both are basically little more than hot liquids. The stew just has more lumpy bits in it.
so I'm gonna take a batch back to Kia and Marlowe.
Okay.
And leave my own there, and then I'm gonna return for the 4th, and I'm gonna head to Beecham to talk to him as I offer it to him.
All right. He's like, oh, thank you. He takes the bowl of stew and sits it down next to him on the floor, and then he kind of takes the cup and oh, so much better.
Beecham, do you mind if I ask you a question?
Sure.
The first night I met you, you were drinking like the best of them. I mean, granted, probably Marlowe would still drink both of us under the table, but that's neither here nor there. Is there a reason why you're refraining now? Because I have some experience with alcohol, and going too far with it, and seems weird that you're refraining now.
No, I think you misunderstand. When we first met our acquaintance, we were down south in the comfort of Rockhelm, a nice, safe, cozy, friendly place where I wasn't expecting to have to whip out a sword and defend myself at any moment. And I have no intentions of having my wits dulled by alcohol in this less than friendly place.
We are no stranger to unfriendly places. Rest assured, if there's anyone in this establishment that would be of any threats, you could not have picked a better group of people to party and group with. You've seen what we can do.
Yes, I have indeed.
We have held back on several occasions because we do not want to. We see no point in fruitlessly showing off our abilities. But you should feel safe anywhere as long as you're with us.
Right.
So if you want to drink, feel free.
No, I will refrain. Thank you so very much. But please, well, there's no need for you to stand keeping me company. Why don't you return to the ladies and enjoy your evening?
Well, we have 4 rooms upstairs.
Oh,
first 2 on the right, and the second 2 past the first on the left.
If you have no objections, I'll take the first on the right then, please.
There you go.
I appreciate it. And with that, he stands up, picks up his bowl, and he says, well, you all have a splendid evening.
You too.
And quickly kind of like works his way through and up the stairs, doing his best not to spill anything.
All right.
Marla, what's wrong? You can tell me.
It's the first time I've thought about Saris in a while. And with that, I'm gonna down the soup. I'm gonna poke at the stew. As Radovan walks back up, I'm gonna stand up and say, "Which way to the stables?"
We have. I got you a room upstairs. I think you should stay there tonight. The second on the right is yours if you want it. And I strongly suggest you should take it.
I'm gonna stand up and walk upstairs.
All right. Okay.
Who's Saris? Radovan?
So her mentor from before, when she was in Fujinami. They had an interesting relationship, to say the least.
Were they, like, together?
No, it's not like that at all. It's just it was untraditional, especially up there, and I guess the talk about honor and the like has reminded her of it.
But why did she?
Hey, it took me
honor.
Kia. It took me a year of traveling with her to get what I learned. It's not my place to say. If she hasn't told you, I don't think I should. I mean...
Well, if you just told me, maybe I could help her more, talk to her.
I think you should get her to tell you herself.
Well, it seemed like she was about to, but then you told her she had a room and she ran away.
Well, sorry, I was dealing with Beecham's thing.
It's fine. It's just us two down here now.
He's super paranoid about this place, and I could see why. I mean, but I can also see friendly people, badly to paid dwarves and the like.
Well, we just lost half of our party. Should we even try to talk to anybody tonight?
I think you should go up and talk to Marlo. We have 2 rooms beyond the one on the left, the 2 that are after. One's yours, one's mine. Take whichever.
I'm so bad at... We only have... Wait, we have 2 rooms?
We have 4 rooms. Beecham and Marlo on the first 2 on the right.
Right.
We have 2 after the first one on the left. Making sense? That makes sense, I hope.
You know that thing that we did before you did your Forlorn Hope?
Why you make it awkward, Kia?
Yes, Kia, yes.
Would you ever want to do such a thing again? Maybe like look around really awkwardly.
I was not expecting this.
I know I need to go talk to Marlo, but I don't. I
It's
never
like
get to speak to you alone.
you just hear in your head from Cal in the bag, like,
Like,
bow,
you
chicka,
idiot.
bow. Or you hear, ew, I don't want to hear this.
I don't want to think about you doing that sort of stuff, Mom.
I seem to remember, Kia, you saying we to forget about that.
Yes, I thought you would be dead.
Right.
Still here.
Yeah, not for lack of trying, apparently. I mean,
Well, I think I've come to respect you as I think you can probably tell, ever since that day. And I just wanted to let you know I wouldn't mind. I'll go talk to Marlo when I quickly get up and I like run upstairs.
Cal's like purring as loud as he can.
It's like under any normal circumstances, Radovan should never shy away from the offer, but it was so awkwardly presented that he just doesn't know how to deal with it. Yeah, Cal was purring. In Cal speak, it's like, oh yeah, that's it.
Oh yeah.
He's like,
It's business time.
That's it. And while Radovan's not paying any attention, I'm gonna piss in his helmet. All right.
Honestly, I'm just going to be eating my soup and being weirded out, but still thinking about it, obviously.
What's that?
All right.
I would say Kia is good at flirting when she has to with strangers, but not with someone she actually likes.
It's like,
it's like the playground, you know, you run up to the person you like and you smack them saying, "You're right," and then you run away. Yeah. Yeah, so that's what I'm doing.
Neo Gambit, thanks for the cheer, buddy. All kinds of wrongness.
Running upstairs to talk to Marlo.
Okay, all right. So you head upstairs. Yeah, well, you know which doors yours are, so.
I'm knocking on Marlo's door.
I'm assuming she hears you.
Nothing?
She just grunts.
Oh, like, Marlo, I'm coming in. So I test the door to see if it'll just open.
I don't know the answer to that question. Marlo will have to tell you whether she locked it or
Oh,
left it open.
she wouldn't lock it. I mean, she was going to sleep in a stable. Do you think she really cares about locking doors?
Okay, I'm gonna step in and go, hey, I just think I made a fool of myself.
When you walk in, I'm like not anywhere near the bed. I'm like sitting on the floor.
Interesting.
Oh, I was just about to sleep. You embarrassed yourself? What?
I don't want to talk about it. It's nothing. It's Radovan. You know, Radovan.
Yeah, he's radalicious.
You think so too, then?
I mean, he's Radovan.
You can have all the ladies.
Anyway, it's nothing. It's nothing. Who? Saris? Who are you
SARS?
talking? I don't remember what she said.
SARS?
You have SARS? What?
Saris.
Saris
Raphael.
Saris Raphael. Your father?
No.
Oh.
I didn't have a last name, and so I mean, he wasn't using it anymore. He was dead, so.
Oh. I don't want to make you say anything you don't want to say. Obviously, you're very private about your personal life, but clearly something reminded you of whatever experience happened, and I don't know, sometimes I find it better to talk about it and get it off my chest when I have something wrong. Just wanted to be there for you, I guess, if you want to talk.
I thought I made amends with this.
With
Back
what?
when I died, I met Saris again, and he told me his death wasn't my fault, but sometimes I still wonder.
Do you think he would have lied to you in wherever you were?
See, Kia, he was challenged by this corrupt monk, and he declined the challenge. And you don't do that. That's to decline a challenge. That's honor.
Well,
I told him he shouldn't. I told him he had to do it. And he told me there was a time and a place, and I didn't understand. And the disappointment, I was disappointed.
I see.
So he did it. He fought a Kuruk. And a Kuruk had no honor. He fought dishonorably. He cheated. And Saris died because of it.
I'm sorry to hear that.
So, Brannick, he ran away from a challenge because he knew things weren't even, and he was outmatched, and that it was a useless fight. He did what he had to do. But there's no honor in running away. But there's no honor in
Perhaps you're still learning what honor means, because I certainly don't. But this seems to be a very important idea to you, and I think you should continue to explore it, because it does seem like a catch-22, however you say that in medieval terms. I'm sorry that it reminded you of such a terrible time in your life.
That's why I came to Arcanus.
To run away?
No, I have to get stronger. And the elder monk, he told me this was how it would happen. This to find you and Radovan, and I would be stronger and I could get Saris's honor back.
To find us? What do we have to do with it?
I don't know, but I found you. I waited for you with that orc.
Don't remind me of it.
And you came. Just like you said you would.
Do you think perhaps we're here to help you fight this corrupt monk?
I think I need to do it. But I'm not ready.
What can I do to help you?
I don't think it's something that can just be done. I never thought that I would help a whole country in a war when I came to Arcanus.
Alrighty, and we have a moderator doing a call for inspiration.
Yay!
Click the link and vote if you want to award a inspiration point.
Oh my gosh, an inspiration!
So, yeah, this is the official first call of this campaign, actually. So there you go.
Awesome! Woohoo! Where were we?
There you go, Flutto. You finally have Marla's backstory.
When will you know you'll be ready to go back?
I think I'll just know. But I know it's not yet. I wish that the elder could have told me more. I don't So I found you. What do I do with you?
Well, you know what I'm useful for, so if you ever need somebody to go with you, I will.
It looks like that vote has easily carried, so... Ba-ding! Have a light bulb. You now officially have an inspiration point.
Yay!
Congrats.
It's just... One day I'll go back, and I'll be ready. And I've already made so much progress, I never would have thought... I wish I could see Saris again. And ask him how I'm gonna know.
Yeah.
He always knew how to help me. And the old way doesn't work anymore. And I'm just gonna, like, stare at the sake cup.
Oh, okay.
The old way doesn't work.
I suppose that's why you've been making up a new fighting method. I've been watching you.
I have to get stronger. That's the only way to beat someone who doesn't fight fair, is to be stronger and smarter. And I'm not really good at the smarter part, so...
Well, Radovan can help us both with that.
Yeah.
Thank you for telling me this. I didn't know. I knew there was something, but not this much.
I didn't think it would matter to anybody but me, so...
Of course it matters. I'm not gonna watch you be upset this whole time, not knowing what's going on with you. We need you. So get some rest, okay? You can sleep on the floor, I guess.
I was going to.
I'll never understand you, but... Well, actually, you telling me this story helps me understand you a little bit more. I'll never fully understand you, I guess I'll say.
Well, one day you'll see Fujinami and you'll see even more people you don't understand.
I'm sure I'll be a fish out of water. It'll be great.
You'll eat the fugu and die on the first day. Okay. And then after that, you guys are going to retire, or?
Yeah.
Okay, Radovan, are you doing anything else once you finished supping out your stew bowl with?
The only thing I would really do is discern if the icy stares, the not friendly eyes, stay on me, or does it kind of dissipate when I'm alone? Want me to do a spot check, or?
Give me not a spot check. Give me a sense motive roll, and it would apply to the whole room pretty much.
Okay.
Let's get that 20.
Not a 20, but I rolled decent.
20. Okay. So yeah, you notice that over time, the stairs became less. It wasn't like when any one particular person left. It was just like initially you were met with like a lot of like really cold, icy looks. Nobody bothered to interact with you. And then over time, I mean, you're still getting people kind of glance over and cut sideways looks at you, but no one's really locking down and holding that stare or anything like that.
So no one's giving me like the evil eye from...
No.
You weren't giving me a friendly stare, or like how do you do?
That's definitely not happening. No.
All right.
I mean, you are getting apathy at best.
Okay.
Mild disdain from a distance at worst.
Okay. So yeah, after I finish my meal, I'm gonna head upstairs to my room.
Oh.
Denied. All right. Okay.
Jerk.
So you guys wake up, I guess, the following morning. rested fairly well. The beds aren't great, but they are certainly more comfortable than the cold, frozen ground. And they're warm, so you don't have hypothermia and you don't die in your sleep, which is a good
Yay!
Yay!
All right, so you guys can get up following morning. What's your game plan? Obviously, you can get breakfast, do whatever you want to do.
Yeah, let's go grab some breakfast. And
I think we need a powwow, right? We need to get a game plan. So
meet up in someone's room.
Sure, we could meet up in someone's room, or we could just meet up in the table down here and just talk, right?
Sure.
I'm going to stand on the table because it's easier to do it that way. I don't have to push Alt.
How lazy. All right. Okay.
So we're gonna get food.
I was about to yell at the cat, but it's DRC coming in the door. Sorry.
Right. Okay. So yeah, I mean they bring you over some breakfast, which appears to be kind of like some kind of like very dark red sausage cut into very thick strips. Like it's about this big around and about that thick, and it's kind of like you've got about 4 or 5 pieces of that. You've got some bread and some fairly runny fried eggs, like pan fried, but they're not all the way. They're definitely not done all the way.
I'm gonna poke at the sausages. What even is? What kind of animal is this?
A deer? Perhaps? Elk? Oh, yeti!
A
I think
deer
it's a yeti sausage.
Yeti sausage.
I'm gonna push it to the side and start eating the bread and the eggs.
Okay.
Probably should have brought some Yeti with me. At least I killed that.
At least I got Yeti.
I'm avoiding eye contact with Radman, but
makes sense. Which is why I'm going to keep it strictly professional for now. We don't have a game plan, do we?
For what?
I don't think we've ever had a game plan for anything.
We had a purpose and a thing to do, and I guess get supplies and maybe a wagon and some. But that's, we know, probably not going to be easy or practical.
Well, this town is much bigger than the last, so we definitely need to make some influence here.
So let's just ask them.
For some influence?
Oh, for the things that we need.
Find out where the next village over is, possibly further to the east. Get to those lands that might need our influence, might need our help.
Sure, wherever we can start building.
You don't think this place will need anything?
Well, maybe. Let's ask them that.
So we know the McCollums are nice, so there's a McCollum man here. Maybe we can help him. And maybe he can be an inn, because he obviously frequents this place.
What is all this talk about inns? Let's just ask.
There's a certain level of...
No, honestly.
You think so?
Sure. Marlo? Ask.
That's what we did at the last village. Why wouldn't it work here?
Fair enough.
Yes. But there's McCollums and there's some dwarves we can talk to, too.
Hey, I got your back, Marlo. So, ask.
I thought you were the diplomat.
We're all diplomats.
Yes, would you like me to talk to them?
Give me a Githzerie and I'll talk to them any day of the week. Give me a lowlander, I'll have trouble. Especially since you know my issues with their customs. As
I start to walk off to go talk to the barkeeper, cowards all over the place these days.
Stare at her. She walks over there. Side glance at Radman, like, oh god.
You're gonna hear Radman's gonna mumble something. You might have to do a listen check to see if you hear.
You're like whispering something under your breath.
I do want to do a listen check.
Yeah.
Okay,
so
well, if you care, make a listen check.
I do care. Yes.
As I'm walking off, or just for Kia?
No, just for Kia. I mean, I'm waiting for you to be gone.
I mean, I don't know how low you're whispering it, so...
The difficulty was 12. Just so
okay. I rolled. I heard you then.
Alright, so you hear... I'd like that sometime. That's all I say. And then I'm looking at Marlo.
Right. Well, you watch Marlo kind of walk up to the bar. When you get there, the barkeep, he's like just... You see he's like just drying a metal bowl. And when he sees you looking at him, he just stops and looks at you.
Hi! Good morning.
Good morning.
So, I'm sure I don't need to tell you this. We're new in the village, and we were looking for work.
For work? I don't need any help around here.
Well, do you know of anybody in the village that needs anything? Anything at all?
Not off the top of my head, no.
Do you know where we might go to inquire about such things? Like maybe the chieftain, or...
You can make your way up to Skein's castle if that's what you want. Top of hill.
Alright, I think we'll do that. Thank you, you've been most helpful. I'm gonna say it with no sarcasm whatsoever.
He kind of just watches you walk away.
Alright guys, we need to go to the castle.
Really? Without invitation?
What? We need an introduction for such a place. Do you know how nobility... I guess this is not Arcona's. I don't know how it works.
Well, I asked him how we would find out if somebody needed help. Like, should we talk to the chieftain? And he said the chieftain was in the castle, and that's where we needed to go.
I see.
I'm totally not paraphrasing.
A man of many words.
Are you sure?
That's what he said. If I wanted to talk to the chieftain, I needed to go to the castle.
I mean, I guess we could try, and if that doesn't work...
Well, I mean, I don't expect us to just walk into the castle and talk to somebody. I mean, to the chieftain anyway. We might have to talk to a few people before we get that far, but...
Okay, so...
Gotta start somewhere.
We do.
Alright. Finish your food, let's go.
Okay.
Where's... I'm gonna get up and I'm gonna walk over to Beecham. And I'm gonna lean over. So, mind staying here for a bit?
Sure. I'd quite happily stay here in this warm, comfy tavern. And you're going... Where are you going?
Your wonderful diplomats might be making a mistake, but Marlo's happy for once, and we're gonna go along with her plan.
Oh, okay. Yes,
It's not to punch somebody here. For once.
I'll stay.
You stay here. Yes. We still got your back.
I just love how they let her walk off and talk to somebody.
I feel quite safe by myself.
Just walking up. I got this. I'll go talk to the barkeep. Just punches him in the face. We're in!
If at any point you see a spectral hand beckoning to you, well, that's me. We might have been run out of town. So the hand will guide you to us.
Okay.
Yeah.
Hopefully
in some place that no one else...
A strange spectral hand beckoning, I'll cautiously approach in that direction and see what it's beckoning me towards.
Yeah. So I'm going to nod and pat Beecham on the shoulder.
He's like...
and kind of like return to you.
That awkward.
Alright, Marlo. You have a better grasp. You have a better grasp of these people than I do, and I want this to work. So let's do it.
Radovan, we may not know much about these people or their culture, but they're just people.
True, they are just people, and we are war heroes. I'm gonna give both of them a look. I know, but I'm gonna give both of them a look and kind of like half smile.
Here are people just like they are.
Be humble. And I just quoted Kendrick Lamar. I'm sorry.
I don't know who he is, but
if
smart
you
man.
had an inspiration point, I would take it from you for that. Okay.
All right, so I'm gonna bundle up and follow Marlo outside.
I'm gonna lag slightly behind, just a little like flabbergasted by everything that just happened.
Okay.
You're gonna get cold that way. You gotta power walk.
Okay, Kia, as you're the last one out the door, give me a spot check.
Ooh, spot
You've
check.
noticed they haven't cleaned the tavern since last night, and there's still shit lying all over the floor.
That literally is the case, but all right, you notice that as you walk out the door, Beecham is like turned around on his stool and is kind of like watching you all leave.
Huh? Like waiting? Like look like he's waiting?
No, like he's intently watching you leave. Yeah.
That's weird. I'm gonna look at him and just nod. Like, reach him.
He raises a finger and he says, "I think I liked you the most. Just remember that."
Wait.
So
Through
dead.
by 180. What?
He thinks we're
I'm
gonna
shaky, I'm
die.
flattered.
I love it that she takes it as like a true compliment.
Is he here? Where's this at him?
He's at the counter over here.
Beecham is over here at the bar.
You liked me the most. We can talk about that later.
Yes,
However,
absolutely. Whenever you
think we're gonna be
return,
dead?
I'll be here.
Are we gonna die? Is that what you're implying? It sounds like that's what.
No, I'm not implying that you're necessarily going to die at all. I'm implying that, quite honestly, you three are not at all what I expected, that's for sure.
I know. It's embarrassing.
He says,
It's hard to work with such savages, you know?
Bloody genius.
Tell me, do you have a better idea than what we're about to do?
I actually don't have any ideas anymore.
What the
Robin, thanks for the resub, buddy.
Hey,
Spam,
thank you.
Spam
Thank you.
your pants off.
What happened? Somebody knock you in the head?
No, just as I've said, the way that things have transpired since I've been in your company are incredibly unpredictable, and the sort of thing that I would expect to happen typically does not. So I've stopped trying to anticipate or offer any input. I find
fair.
my safety is probably more dependent on keeping myself as much out of harm's way as possible, and seeing as Radovan Rainier requested that I stay here, I must confess I was going to suggest it if he hadn't have suggested it himself. So,
Okay.
Yes, I'll be right here.
Well,
Am I to assume if you're not back by this evening to assume you're not coming back?
no. Just at least 3 days. Come on, you could do better.
3 days.
I'm hoping we'll be here by this evening, but we might get caught in some business. I don't want you to just run away if we get stuck somewhere for more than a day.
Well, I'll stay here for 3 days unless I hear anything that would make me feel it was probably less than safe for me to remain.
Now, just hear me out. Say you never met us and you were here doing this quest. How would have you approached it if you went a
I
normal
wouldn't.
method before you met us?
I wouldn't even get involved. This is none of my business. I don't have the skill set or the talents to do what it is that you're trying to achieve. And
Talk to
unlike
people.
Marlo, I wouldn't say I'm without honor, but I am a very practical individual. I probably would have gone along with our friend's suggestion, but then
Right, I would have too, to be honest.
I'm probably not the most honor-bound person. As I said, I'm not without honor, but I do consider it a luxury and something that I usually can ill afford.
Right. Well, unfortunately, I have two very straightforward people in my party.
While we're talking frank and honest, if you do get yourselves into severe trouble, please don't assume or expect me to attempt any kind of daring rescue or rush to your defense, because, quite honestly, I'm not going to.
As flattering as that is, I think I know your skill level, and I will never assume such a thing. But thank you.
Much like our recently lost ally, I prize my neck rather highly. So, as much as I like you, I'm not likely to throw myself on a sword, or a claymore to be precise, for anybody's honor, least of all my own.
Fair enough. I'm glad to know you like me the most. I'm going to turn around and walk out.
As long as that's all you took from that, that's all that matters.
Yeah.
Yellow is a good color for this guy.
Yeah, I mean, you've seen him fight, and you've seen him fight toe-to-toe against those undead and get beat up and stuff like that, but, you know, it's not that he won't fight. You've seen him do it.
I just know we're way better than him. Alright, I'm gonna walk out and catch up with them.
Okay, so you head outside, back into the freezing cold tundra that surrounds Skein Brook. And we will leave the sound of the tavern way behind us. Alright, okay, so you walk outside, back on the icy streets.
Okay, head towards the castle, I guess.
Yep.
All right.
Inform
You
both
can
of them
track
about
it
the
across the
conversation I
open
just had.
fields and up the hill that way, or you can go by way of road. It's up to you guys.
I think road.
Me too.
Let's be as honorable and as straightforward as possible and go by road. I agree with you guys. It would be kind of weird if we just trudge up the hill and be like, "Hey guys, we're outside."
How can we help you guys?
All right. So pretty much as you once you get on the top of the hill, you kind of are looking down over the large snow drifts that have blown up against the sides of the cliffs. You can see several young children zooming down on Hessian sacks. Like, that's what they're doing for fun, is basically sledding down the snow drifts. But from the advantage point of the hill, you can kind of see a long, long way. It's actually not snowing right now. It's just a very cold, crisp, and brisk winter's morning. In the distance to the south, you can pretty much see across open fields as far as your eyes can see. All the way behind you, in the direction you came from, is the woodland area that you traveled through, that you know Dunedin is on the other side of. And it looks like, now that you can actually see from here, it looks like eastwards there are yet more forests and trees that would have to be traversed if you were going to head in that direction. As you continue along the rise, you eventually kind of get closer and closer to the castle walls. You can see herds of cattle out front, herds of sheep out front. Several clansmen wrapped up are kind of breaking icy buckets and like putting troughs of breaking icy troughs and throwing out fresh grain and stuff like that, and shoveling patches of snow clear so that their animals can get to the food. And you approach towards the castle. Now, castle is probably a bit of a stretch. It's really 4 walls that each one has a rudimentary tower. There's a large open arch with 2 huge wooden doors, like a huge big wooden gatehouse that's open. Beyond that, you can see a courtyard, a stable to the right, and a fairly large yet impressive looking 2-story manor. As you get there, you can see a couple of very nice horses being led out of the stable and given a brisk once around the courtyard. Kind of like
we steal those and we leave.
So I'm actually going to say Marlo, Kia, before we interact with anybody. The winds blow harsh, snow at our feet. Reminds me of Finnerton and the Krampus. Isn't that neat? Diplomats we claim. Ha, what a laugh. Let us brace for this monumental gaffe.
What was that?
I was just reminded of that demon creature we all fought the last time we were in a village that was snowing hard.
Don't bring us back to that time.
I just look at Radovan all seriously, and then turn and walk off.
Walk up to Radovan and just go, and then leave.
I can't help it. It just came to me.
Right? Yeah, I know.
It's inspired.
Your rhyming skills are just impeccable.
All right. Well, there is a large wooden door, like right here to your left. You can hear what sounds like raised voices from inside.
Like mad?
Somebody's shouting and hollering and ranting and raving for sure. Yeah.
Oh, this does not seem like a good time.
No, it seems like the perfect time. Somebody needs us.
No, they're just not going to accept us this easily.
Just don't draw your weapons. Don't show. Well, I mean, don't raise your fists.
As he says, I'm.
If we're here to help, we're here to help. Get our story straight. I am a healer, because I am. You know.
With that, the door suddenly comes open.
What am I?
And a guy, basically a fairly young guy, wearing like a tunic. He's got the Skein crest. He has a emblem with a single feather. His hat falls on the floor as he stumbles over the step, like looking. He's backing out of the door hastily, and you hear, "Certainly, my lord, certainly. I'll take care of it right away." He stops and grabs his hat and carries on, like, does that weird kind of stooping stumble as he runs, tripping over his own feet, grabbing the hat, and carry on going. As he does so, a kind of fairly large and somewhat... He's not a hefty fellow. In fact, you could imagine at his youth he was probably quite the specimen, but probably a lot of mead, a lot of pies, have played a little bit round his midsection, as he's a little bit portly in the center. That being said, he still has big shoulders. Black hair, very stern look. And he's like, "Damn right you'll take care of it. I'll have your hide. Now be off with you." And then he stops and looks. He says, "Who the hell are you?" Come on, don't have all day.
Hello, my name is Kiliana. Nice to make your acquaintance.
Radovan Rainier here. Hello. Greetings. And I'm going to wave kind of curtly.
Lamali.
I'm actually going to kneel on one knee and say, "Sir."
He kind of looks at you rather strangely and raises an eyebrow. He goes, "Tut, tut, 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 tut." As he's like beckoning you to stand up.
I go to gesture and then I take my hand back down because I'm not supposed to draw my weapon.
He says, "Well," he says, "we know your names now. But who are you?"
Travelers going from town to town offering...
Vagabonds, is it? Is that what you are?
No, we have special... we can do very special things. Radovan...
We have a special skill set. But we are little more than vagabonds in your country. We wish only to be of use to someone.
You want to be of use, do you?
We do. Is there anything that we can assist you with or do for you?
He says, let me think on it a while.
Of course.
Good day. And he walks back in and shuts the door, leaving you on the doorstep.
I don't think he's gonna think about it, Marlo.
What do you mean? He said...
Or he'll just put us in the stock so people can throw stuff at us.
No, he said it. He said he would think about it, and we're gonna let him think about it. And with that, I'm gonna lay something, what extra I have with me down on the ground, and I'm gonna sit cross-legged.
Marlo.
And I'm gonna
listen
wait.
to the tone of his voice and his face. He's messing with us.
You really plan to wait out here in the colds on this doorstep?
Yes.
You're gonna freeze to death.
Well, I'll get up and do some exercises if I need to stay warm, but understand, even if he was being sarcastic, how do you think I got Saris to be my mentor?
Do you sit and wait outside his house for years?
So I'm
Not
actually
years.
I'm actually gonna put my hand on Marlo's shoulder, and I'm gonna cast Endure Elements.
Okay.
And I'm gonna say, you do this, and I pray it works for you. I really do. I'm gonna watch the kids slide down the hill and try to stay warm. Maybe wander around town a little bit while you wait. Do you want an extra cloak or something,
Well, with Endure Elements on her, she feels quite toasty.
That's true.
I'll be fine.
I can't cast it because I can't click, but yeah, I do.
What do? I can't just leave. I'm not gonna leave you, Marlo.
I'll be fine. I sat outside Saris's hut for days.
Do you think that will prove
In the rain.
to Skein?
Well, what other choice do we have right now? I told him I was here to help him, assist him, and that's what I'm going to wait for. To give help and assistance.
Honestly, Kia, it's not the worst idea, because think about it. To him, she's not wearing a bunch of winter clothes, right? She's actually forsaking some of it. She's waiting out here, and she's not being affected by it. So maybe he'll see some value in her toughness and fortitude.
Okay.
So,
I guess I see where you're coming from, but what are you and I gonna do?
I have no clue. Talk to the dwarf, the McCollum man,
Yes, I suppose
throw
we could try
kids
to
down
make
the
some
hill and Hessian
connections. I mean, it does look kind of fun. I'd like to try it at least once.
Hey, Radovan, you've got a very nice shiny sorcerer sled.
Going on a nice sled, right?
All right, Marlo.
Okay, Radovan Griswold.
Can I keep Cal with you, just in your bag, so we can communicate?
I don't have another.
I don't mind, but I'm not sure Cal would like that very much.
If I keep him, if he doesn't mind being in the bag, he won't. It's toasty in there.
All right. I would love Cal's company.
Cal, will you stay with Marlo? Never mind, not a question.
I suppose.
Thank you. Just tell me if something bad happens, and if she gets escorted in, run and let us know.
Rockstar, thanks for follow. Okay. Are you going to give her the bag so I can at least stay warm?
Yes.
I'm gonna take the bag and curl it up so that he stays near to my body so that he can benefit from the body heat.
Okay.
Marlo, remember, you're the guardian, you're the protector. I'm the healer, and Kia is the scholar because she looks the part.
Scholar. I can't fake that.
You're an elf. You can fake anything.
Thank you,
We'll
Mr.
give a little
Cow.
smirk, like a little. I got away with a little racist remark. Smirk as I just like nod at Marlo and walked back to the entrance, patting myself on the back. You know, like still retaining a little bit of my past racism.
You're an asshole.
Right?
But we're lovable assholes. Let's be
Yes.
real, guys.
Right.
We're awesome. And yeah, I'm gonna let Marlo do what Marlo's gonna do. And wait to hear word.
All right, so you leave Marlo on the doorstep, and then you guys are just leaving, heading out across the courtyard.
Yeah, we're gonna.
All right. Okay. So you make it as far as the gate. Then you hear a loud crash. Marlo, the door once again comes flying open, and what appears to be a rough and ragged-looking fellow wielding a hand axe in one hand and a short sword in the other comes flying backwards out the door on his back heel, and you have to move not to get run over. As he does so, a burly man wielding a huge big kind of claymore, like a basket-hilted claymore. So it's like a broadsword, but it's a big broadsword. You could easily wield this in a hand, you know. If it wasn't for the basket hilt, you would expect it to have a handle long enough to hold with two hands. But it's bizarre because it is such a long, heavy blade, but the basket hilt denies, realistically, the practical use of a second hand. As he backpedals out, you literally see this guy, like, swinging like a maniac, as if the thing was like nothing more than a rapier. Marlo, basically, you watch the guy get hit in the shoulder. It cleaves him from the top of his shoulder down to his sternum, as blood comes out of his mouth as he drops down onto his feet. The guy grabs him by the back of the head, pulls his head all the way back, and then rams the full length of the sword straight through his chest, and then just pushes him down to the ground. It's an absolutely bloody display. With that, he rips a piece of the guy's shirt off, wipes his blade clean, kicks him once, and walks back inside the door. As an afterthought, he stops, and you hear him say, "Murtad, some hussy on the front back's poached in over the side. The one you were talking to earlier thinks she's still there." Okay, the familiar face of the man that you talked to first peers around and he says, "You still here, lass?"
I am waiting for when I can be useful.
"Oh, right. You're serious then?
Of course.
And you're friends? We're
by the gate looking, I imagine. Yeah.
Maybe the new... Okay, come on!" And he starts beckoning you. "If you're not going to go away, now's as good a time as any."
I'm going to stand up and...
Alright, the big fellow says, "Don't step in that."
I'm going to sidestep around it. I'm going to glance back over my shoulder at Radovan and Kia.
Alright, start walking back towards them.
Alrighty.
The sled another day.
Let me go ahead and find this part. You guys. Alright, there's a Kia. There's a Radovan. Marlo's already at the door.
Oh my goodness.
Okay, hold on. So, have I put you guys on the map?
Is anybody else reminded of the garden?
It's the same. It's the same floor plan I use. Okay. Right. So you walk across the cobblestone courtyard, straight through the snow, and the front door is left open for you guys to walk through.
Cool.
And I will go ahead and reveal that room. Okay.
I start to walk all the way in, and then I stop think about something Radovan said to me before, and I'm going to dust my feet off.
All right.
I enter and do the same thing. Bang my boots against the wall, get the snow off.
Okay. So once you're inside the building, and we'll move this over. So, okay, here you go. All right. It's not quite what you'd expect for such a grand manor. In fact, it's pretty damn plain. Glancing around, there's a single fireplace, a table, there's some bagpipes laying on the table, there's a simple candelabra illuminating the room other than the fireplace, a small desk in the far left corner, a cabinet to your right with a few curios, some various different decanters and bottles, and 3 individuals. The first, immediately to your right, wearing kind of a red and greenish hat, the similar sort of Scottish, or that kind of Scottish-looking hat that you guys have seen the clansmen wearing. He has a gold buckle on his chest, and he has 3 feathers sticking up from it. The person to his right, who is the masterwork individual with that massive claymore, with his kind of like graying hair. As you get a better stock of this guy, clearly the graying hair is no real sign of his true age, because he actually looks like he's a fairly young individual. But for some reason his hair looks like it's grayed before his time. In the right-hand side, on the far corner, is another individual. He's about 6'2". He has jet black hair, very kind of like broad-shouldered, wide-chested. He has kind of like a thick mustache, and he's just got a very stern look on his face as you walk in. So this fellow approaches, and he looks at you and he says, "My name is Murtar Skein. I am
Greetings.
the chieftain." I said, "I am the chief of Clan Skein, and I'm just incredibly curious as to know why it is that you're so persistent in gaining an audience with myself. Oh, may I introduce the rest of your company here this morning?" And he kind of points over at the guy with the claymore. He says, "This is Eden. And that feather over there, that's Donnan. Donnan is my brother."
Nice to meet you all.
Hello.
My name's Radovan Rainier.
And I'm Keeliana.
Impressive fencing, Sir Eden.
He looks at you and he says, "You call that fencing?"
I'm not sure what to call it, but it was amazing.
He says, "I don't know what to call it either. What I do know is the weight of this blade is enough to hack through an entire cow. It made short work of that damn Raiden."
It did. It was an impressive display.
And with that, the fellow on the right, the Donnan chappie, he kind of walks up. And less diplomatically than the others, he says, "And if you're here for any non-sequential business, if you're time wasters, loiterers, vagabonds, borderland raiders, you'll get a damn close look at that claymore, so you will.
I would expect nothing less.
Now you best tell us why the hell you're here."
As I told the chief,
Thanks for the cheer, Jude. Thank you, dude.
we wish to be of use to you. We're new in these lands, and well, we know no one. We seek work and trust.
With that, Aiden says, I know that there's a need for a good hand down at the smithy.
Shit, I know nothing about working in smithy. Wait!
Huh.
Beecham!
What? Yes? I'm going to raise a brow. And Marlowe.
As you look at Marlowe, you're suddenly aware that the guy that had the two big feathers is like looming right in front of you. Like he is invading your space, Radovan. He's like right.
I let him. Yeah. I'm not.
He's kind of looking
aggressive.
at you up and down. And he glances across.
What is Beecham's profession again?
Oh shit.
Oh, I don't have anything for him.
Did we? Not really asking. We're just horrible people.
Am I remembering the wrong person? I thought that he did something like that.
Trades up here, right? So I don't know. I don't know.
Do you know what type of work they would need? I have to admit I'm not very skilled at that sort of thing, but
Go
if
ask. He says, "Go ask him." Nay, tell him you're here to do whatever it was his no good son did before he ran out of town with his tail between his legs.
Oh.
With that, Donnan he's like staring right at Radovan, and he says, I don't think you're being straight with us.
he's not or I'm not.
We are honestly here to see if we can help in any capacity, given our strange yet proficient skill sets of varying different skill sets.
So you're mercenaries then?
We are not necessarily. I am honestly looking for my family. I have searched far and wide, and these two have been along with me for quite a long time.
If you're looking for kin and you just want to know whether they're here in town, just go ahead and be done with it. Tell us their names and we can tell you right quick.
I'm pretty certain they're not here because I already did say my name was Radovan Rainier, so But these lands are dangerous and, well, it's cold and supplies are scarce and we want to be of use so we can possibly barter or trade.
So you wander around strange lands, trying to become of use. But you're no mercenaries. You don't want payment. Yet
I just
you
want to
carry a
become
dirty
stronger.
great shield and a massive meat clamor.
I just want to become stronger.
I am not traveling around for money. That is not my purpose, not my intent. I'm a healer, first and foremost.
You're a healer?
I am.
Well, you heal the damage you do with that damn thing.
It is a way of
protects.
defense. Exactly. What Marlowe said, my friend. I am a healer and a shield.
He's got kind of like an enigmatic kind of grin on his face, like he's just kind of looking at you a little strange. And he glances across at the guy wearing the hat, who immediately picks up the conversation. He says, "No," he says, "you must understand." He says, "If 3 complete strangers, dressed in such a strange fashion, come tapping at your door at the bright and earliest hour of the morn, claiming that they just wanted to help, they did not seek payment, would you not wonder for yourself a bunch of different questions? The first of being, if you're not from around here, where are you from?"
I would absolutely wonder that. I'm from Fujinami, up north across the water. I honestly just want to become stronger. And
with that, Aiden
payment
kind of cuts in and as you say that, he says, "If you want to become stronger, woman, lift logs."
I've done that. Do you have logs that you need me to lift? Because I can do it. I will do it.
He kind of looks at me and they're like, looking like curiously. He says, look, lassie, if you want to traipse across the fields to the forest, chop down trees, and bring the logs back and pile them outside on the door, go right ahead. I'm sure we can throw a few silver your way for the trouble.
I don't need any silver to do that.
Fine. Do it for free then.
Alright, I gotta find me an axe.
That way you get to help, and you get stronger. Everybody wins.
Alright, I'm gonna turn to Kia and Radovan and say, I gotta go find an axe, and I'm gonna walk out the door.
He says, oh, he goes, no, he goes, there's one right there. And he points at the floor with the guy that he is laying there in a pool of blood.
I'm gonna look down.
He says, take that one.
I'm gonna pick it up and head off into the woods.
There's something else we're looking for.
The woods are probably a good 2 to 3 miles from here.
Oh, God.
So, I don't know how many, you could go and cut down a tree and bring over an arm of logs at a time if that's what you want to do. It's going to take you a while to do much damage to any.
Well, I'll do it. I get started on one tree, and no, he said bring a whole log, so that's what I'm going to do. It may take me a long time to get one over there, but that's what I'm doing.
Alright. And with that, he kind of waits for Marlowe to wander off, and he's like, is she right in the head? You know we were joking, right? That was a joke.
She wants to prove herself.
She takes everything very seriously.
Right, guys? Use the funai no kewami on the trees.
Look, you have every right to be skeptical and question us. I mean, you're right. It is a strange thing for strangers to come to you. But mind you, we are strangers who are indeed offering our help and our varied expertise.
Right, but you've yet to explain what that expertise is and what it is you think you can do for us.
As I explained, I am a healer and a protector. I'm not a mercenary. I'm here wandering this land.
Do we look like we need protection?
Honestly, you do not, which is what makes this so difficult. But we need supplies and we need a mode of transportation, and where we're from, offering ourselves, offering our services is a way to barter and trade if gold is not needed, if money is not required. It is how we do it to get respect and to get on friendlier terms, as well as reputation to be a trustworthy. We do not wish any harm. We do not wish any horribleness to happen or to befall you. We only, in earnest, want the best for everybody. Because if you're stronger and better, we're stronger and better, everyone wins.
So, you have things that you need, but you didn't have any money to pay for it.
We do have some money, not much, but we did travel here with a keg of whiskey on the road, on the road, and our poor steed was beset by some strange underground creatures that popped up out of the snow and the tundra and ripped it limb for limb.
Chad, did anybody else hear our horse Steve?
So we had a wagon, we had transport, we had supplies. We had to leave a lot of it behind because of what befell our noble steed. So, but we are not vagabonds, and we do not wish to come to the town and demand stuff, because we are no place to do that, but we do want to try to get it in fair trade or something that we can offer.
You want to work to acquire transport.
Man, this dude didn't listen to anything Marlowe said.
It is part of it, yes. We wish to travel further to the east.
We wish to have a reputation among the communities here.
For what?
It's hard to explain.
For
It
being
seems
counted
that all
upon.
of this is hard to explain.
Can I tell them, Redvan?
Go ahead.
There is a potential war northeast of here that might break out. That we have gotten wind of.
And
Have you
know
heard
this
anything
how?
about this?
How come you know about this and we do not? And yet we are from here and you are not.
There.
A traveler from the area. He must not have stopped and told you, but he traveled more south and found us. Should have said that.
I do kind of wince at the
I was
sound.
going to say that.
Okay,
Should
Hagrid.
not
But
have said that.
truth be told, we don't want there to be any conflict or war, because that's not good for anybody. So honestly, we are here to try to find a way into these various communities to help them out, gain their trust so they trust us and we trust them, and maybe level any conflict that might arise. And that is the truth of our purpose.
I know it sounds crazy.
Me
but
wanting
it's the truth.
Me wanting to find my family is true too. From where I was, I looked far and wide, but I did not find them. My friend Marlo, who is honestly going to travel to cut down some trees, she truly does wish to get stronger, because to her, that is the most important thing in her life, is to be strong and able to defend herself and fight for herself. And she is honestly one of the most capable fighters I've ever seen.
They all just kind of stare at each other, like in utter disbelief at what they're hearing. At which point, Murtaugh looks at you, he says, so, you're not from here, but you've come here to stop any conflicts from happening. All you wish to do is wander around, stopping people having barneys and fights.
No.
Do you know where you are, laddie? He says, we're this territory, everybody here, he said, is either bonded to or is a Skein. We're at war with 3 clans right now, the least of which is over a pig.
I understand, but what about the Vakiri?
The Vakiri. I've heard the name, yes, but they're way, way, way to the east and to the north. They're not going to
Over the
bother us
mountains.
here, and if they do, trust us, the clans will rally, and they'll get a right good walloping.
We have it on good authority that the Vakiri have procured some mighty ships that are allowing them to sail farther than before. There is land to the east that is for agriculture for you guys, sustainable for food. We have heard that there's a potential that they might be traveling southward to claim said land, because there's only so much land in this frozen tundra for everybody. And that is the conflict my friends and I are concerned about, knowing full well that you guys have your customs and we respect those customs. We truly do. But this is a potential conflict that is worse.
As you're
Could be
talking,
worse.
you notice that Aiden has drawn his claymore out.
Oh God, why?
And he's kind of now laying it in his hand, kind of like in a semi kind of threatening fashion. And he says, and yet, this information you chose not to bring to our door openly, but you come with some ridiculous story about looking for work, and you want us to trust you.
All of what we've said is the truth.
It may be. What concerns me is why you didn't lead with that piece of information. Why you felt
can't
it
lead.
necessary to keep it quiet.
You can't lead with such a story. You have to build up to it, or
Why
else it'll
not?
sound
Why
even
can't you lead?
crazier.
You come to our door. He says, you knock on the chief's door. You come to us. We didn't come to you. And then you start telling us that you want to get work and get stronger and talk about becoming blacksmiths. And the next thing you know, you're talking to us about some war.
Holy shit, Marlowe shouldn't have left.
He's like,
look, here, the reason why is because we do want to... That is not something I feel you just blurt out upon first meeting someone, although we did, and I'm going to give Kia this, like... The point of fact is, if we had just come to you straight up with this story, you would not have listened to anything else that we said, which is also the truth. Because you would have just heard that straight, and you would have come to your own conclusions, and maybe some of those conclusions would have been an error, just a lack of information.
But you thought that beating around the bush and circumnavigating the truth was the way to go.
No, building trust. I'm not there. Shut up, Casey.
You really aren't from around here, are you?
No.
Is that what you're talking about? Is a way that you think is to get people to trust you and on side? Definitely not from around here.
This is true.
And with that, Donnet kind of looks at him and he says, if you ask me, they're talking a bunch of pash. Just throw them out and be done with it. And you can kind of see Murtar is kind of looking, and he's like,
what we say is the truth, please.
Perhaps there's something we could do to prove ourselves to you.
like what? We don't need nothing.
Well, before we came here, we encountered some monstrous yetis in a cave to the northwest of here. We cleared it out. And those are yetis that could very well have attacked this village. So, hey, we didn't want that to happen, so we dealt with it. And that was before even coming here.
You're welcome.
You're welcome.
I'll show them the Yeti thing, like, see?
We can show you the cave. You can see the carcasses of the monstrosities yourselves.
He says, that's not that uncommon around here. Maybe where do you come from? He said, we haven't had an attack for many of those things. Yeah, granted, a few years ago, one or two came into the fields and tried to steal a cow. But we made short work of them too, just like you did.
Well, there was more than just a couple. There were, how many were there? Like 8 or 9? Was there 6 or 7?
7, I think.
God, there were 7.
They're gonna know we can't count.
Well, we burned some of them to
they were
oblivion,
this big, this big.
They're all intent on telling the truth now. They should have just been like, there were hundreds.
He says a look. He says, firstly, if this story that you believe to be true is the truth, it must be 700 or 800 miles between us and where you're talking about. Secondly, if the Valkyrie do come to our territory, it'll be the last thing they do. And thirdly, this fella right here could have done what you three did. Just the same as you did. And there are plenty of strong men like him in and around this town. So I still fail to see what it is that you bring that we need. Now, if you want transport, if you want possessions and belongings and things for the road, feel free to go to town and barter with the local merchants for it, or pay with whatever coin you have and be on your way. We hold you no ill will, but quite frankly, we're not great trusters of outsiders, especially ones that don't play straight.
We mean you no ill will either, and I apologize if we were not as forthcoming as you would have liked. It was not our intention to be deceitful or deceptive. We were just You have to understand we are only 3 people, and you guys are more than capable and quite intimidating in your own rights.
It is well. As it stands right the new, we don't mean you any ill will either. As it stands right the new.
Fair enough. We'll leave you alone for now.
And thank you for your time. And I'm going to give like this little half bow.
And with that, he uses the tip of the claymore to kind of push open the door.
Okay, I'm gonna walk out.
Don't trip on that mess on your way out the door, Missy.
Thank you.
Alright, so, Gore, you tell me if I can't do this, but I'm hoping it's for story purposes.
Okay.
I'm gonna be standing out there with a smaller log than what I wanted. I'm gonna say, as the door comes open, I'm gonna say, I had to cut it a little more than I wanted to, just to make it more manageable.
From like the log pile right next to you?
No! I cut down a tree!
Well, as I said, that you didn't hear. Did you hear me say that the forest was 3 to 4 miles away?
So?
This conversation lasted, what, 20 minutes?
It's Marlo. She can run. She can carry it.
I beg to differ that Marlo can run 4 miles, cut down a tree with a hand axe, and come back in that length of time. You are swift, but I don't believe you're that swift.
I love it.
Can I abundant step with a damn log?
Yeah, but abundant step will get you outside the courtyard.
That's right. It's not. It's only a certain range, isn't it? Well, gosh damn it! Guess I'm still out in the forest then when y'all come out.
Yeah, I mean, you only. I mean, if you're talking, I mean, even if you're sprinting across the snow, 3 to 4 miles in this condition, you're probably talking about an hour there and an hour back, just the journey. So,
okay, well, I guess you guys come out, and I'm still in the forest chopping down a tree. So.
Yes,
okay.
By now, Marlo is over the fields and far away.
Okay.
I was trying to save us time, guys. Sorry.
I hear you, but as I said, it's a lot further than I think you realize.
It would honestly be more funny if you just went into town, found a tree, and cut it down.
Well, I was saying there's this
Marlo's
massive
doing
big
what she
pile
said
of
she was gonna
logs
do.
right here next to you, so I was wondering if she just like went and found one of them and went, that'll do.
No, they told her to go into the forest and chop down a tree and bring the log back. So.
Alright, as we're walking out, my face gets very red, and you can tell that I'm very frustrated.
Speaking of very red, the snow is very nastily stained right outside the door there too.
And I'm just stomping out in a huff.
It looks like somebody has by now dragged the body off, but there is still a huge pile of blood staining the snow right there.
Okay.
Kia,
What?
look. Honestly, that was a near impossible situation.
This whole thing's near impossible. Nothing we're doing is helping at all. What are we doing?
That's a good question.
I swear to God, Gore, if you put one of those pentagrams.
Maybe Beecham is just making shit up. Maybe we shouldn't even be here.
The
We could
entire
just go
adventure
home.
has been a lie. Beecham's just an asshole.
Look, we all know that something is going on with Beecham.
Got you. You gotta admit, this is a hell of an April Fool's. It's funny shit, right?
Yeah, he should know better than that.
We've
punch him
clearly
into a
failed
coma.
so far, so why keep going? We're clearly not the people for this job.
Level
Honestly-
up, come back, find Beecham, use quivering palm.
Yeah. Now I can kill you whenever I want.
Shh. We're role playing.
Sorry.
Okay.
I wouldn't say we necessarily failed, Kia.
How have we succeeded in any way?
Well, we have the McCollum's favor. That's
So
one
that's-
family.
Barely anything. There was 7 buildings there. That's not going to help us do whatever it is we're doing with this war.
Well, we don't even know if there is a war. We need to go over there and find out if there's a war. And well, you spoke to Marlo. What did you get the info about her backstory?
Yes, a little bit.
All right. Well, I mean, I think eventually we're gonna have to at least meet with the Kiri, right? So we need to make our way over there.
So what's the point of even stopping at these places trying to earn favor? It's clearly not happening. These people are very proud people. They're self-sufficient. They don't need us.
But is anyone around us as Kia and I are walking?
No.
Okay, so I'm just gonna like get a little closer, and so not to shout or echo, and say that may very well be, but they are not prepared. And I just quoted Illidan. Oh my god. I can't say anything anymore. Fucking hell. No,
your words are broken.
They would not be ready for anything that we might know could happen if it did. So if they're too proud to see what we can offer and what we have and the knowledge we have, and are just willing to have us trade for shit, we'll get the shit and we'll get out, and it's on them. Nothing we can do. Worst case, I send a message to the McCollums and tell them to get out of Dodge if the threat is even real and heading this way.
So what's the point? We're not diplomats. We're just checking it all out.
we were diplomats in a different situation. We still have a long way to go in that score in other ways, but if we can get items from this place and travel further east to another settlement and just stay alive and get out there, maybe we can see what's happening, if anything, and stop it if it's coming. But if these guys don't want to partake in it and they just want to be an isolationist little community of proud idiots, let them be a isolationist group of proud idiots. We told them. They refused to listen to us. Right?
I said I would do this because I trust you and I believe in you, and you wanted to do this, and I just want to make sure that we are actually useful instead of running around up here in the cold killing ourselves.
Hey, we saved Brannick's life. Yeah, say what you will about his honor and his principles, but he would have died in that Yeti cave, and we saved his life. That right there, worth it. And we stopped Yetis. Those things could have attacked other people, not just livestock and cows. So we already made a difference. Just build upon that. So at the very least, we got that.
So where are you two going to
go? Probably just headed. Well, are there footsteps of Marlowe's going out to the forest?
I mean, well, you know the direction that the forest is, so.
Oh, after I got out there, I probably would have realized I still had Cal in a bag, so I'd probably tell him he could go back to Kia if he wanted to, because I might be out here a while.
Cal in a bag.
I mean, yeah, you know, obviously, you know, Marlowe either went northwards or southwards around this wall and then east to the forest, across the fields, so.
Let's go be with our friends and laugh at her as she attempts to chop down a tree.
Nice.
Fine.
Okay,
I'm
so
just
you're
not
gonna
in
try
a good
to
place with this right now.
All right. So you guys are going to head across the snow to find Marlowe. You can hear the echoing sound of in the distance, which kind of leads you to where you see Marlowe basically hacking down a tree. By the time you get there, the tree is probably falling.
Marlowe, enough. They already refused us.
They refused you. And I'm gonna start getting ready to drag this damn log back.
Right, so you can like cut.
Fine.
So you can like cut a section small enough to be able to physically drag, and then drag it.
Yep, I'm gonna cut all. You know, I don't want the limbs and stuff on there because that's just gonna make it more cumbersome. So
I'm gonna help her.
Okay.
She's not dragging it. We're gonna carry it back together.
I'm gonna cross my arms and just walk back, scowling, like just in an awful mood.
Okay. So yeah, you guys traipse a good 3 miles across the thick snow, carrying half a tree. It probably takes you a good couple of hours to get back. because you're having to stop frequently to put the damn thing down because of the weight of it, and you sink with all the snow and the weight. Your snowshoes are useless. It's just like pushing you down into the ground, or down, down into the snow. So by the time you eventually get back, it's like midday, and you stagger into the courtyard, red-faced and somewhat tired, and shoulders as sore as hell. And you can walk up outside the door and drop this half a tree down there.
I'm gonna drop it there, and I'm gonna go and I'm gonna knock on the door.
All right.
I'm gonna back up, and I'm gonna be with Kia in the distance this time. Kind of like rubbing my shoulders.
So Don and Skein, the war chief, opens the door and he looks at you and he says, "Oh, well done.
Do you want me to cut it into smaller pieces for you?
Well, if you wouldn't mind, yeah, that'd be great.
All right.
Just when you're done, put it on the stack right here on the left with the rest of them.
All right.
Appreciate it. Would you like a glass of water? Maybe a cup of.
Thank you, but
maybe a glass of Rhenish or a cup of ale. Looks like it's thirsty work.
Oh, I'll be fine. I guess my
Fair
friends.
enough.
My friends told you. They told you about the war, didn't they?
They waffled on about something about Valkyrie attacking settlements far to the east.
Yeah. Well, anyway, if you could think of anything else, because,
No,
like I said, I am from
You'll have been a
Fujinami,
great
and
help. Feel free to get any more wood that you wish, and as I said, don't mind paying you. Your friend said that you didn't have a lot of coin and you needed to buy provisions. We have no problem paying you for doing what you're doing. A good hard day's work is worth a few silver.
I don't need money. I don't like money.
Well, I do, and I'll keep it then. Thank you very much.
Thank
Well,
you.
All right, he closes the door.
I'm gonna go and chop the wood up.
All right. So you basically
Marlo, I'll
spend another
meet you
hour.
at the tavern.
Oh, well, after I finish here, I'm going to the blacksmith.
Okay. All right,
I'll
so you're going to go to the
tavern.
blacksmith. And you say you're going back to the tavern, Kia?
Yeah.
All right. Okay. We're about to finish, but before we do, let's go ahead. We'll pop our heads back in the tavern real quick.
I honestly would go back to the tavern too.
Okay.
To ask the barman where the merchants are. Not just wander up to the blacksmith. Oh, what a group we are.
All right. Okay. Alrighty, so you wander back inside. And, okay, by the time you go back in there, you can see Beecham. He's... I'm actually going to move that chair. So yeah, by the time you're back inside, you notice Beecham has pulled the chair much closer to the fire, and he's got his feet up on the side of the hearth, kind of like cross-legged, and he's sitting there. And he actually has what appears to be a glass of red wine.
Nice. Beecham?
He's like, oh, good afternoon, I think. Is
Yes,
it
I
afternoon?
think you're right. I don't know. I'll be over at the table, but we are alive and we're back. Just letting you know.
She says, oh, well, splendid.
So wander and sit down.
I would have gone to the barman and got some whiskey.
Okay.
Like a big glass of whiskey. And whatever Kia would drink, like wine or something. If that's what she wants.
Sure.
And then
No,
offer it.
whiskey.
Alright.
After a couple of minutes, you see Beecham kind of comes over and he plops himself down and sits the glass in front of him. And he looks clearly kind of like confused and puzzled. Like he wants to say something, but he doesn't even seem to know where to start.
Spit it out.
To be honest, I really don't know what it is that I need to spit. So,
Does-
You seem troubled.
you won the favors of the chieftain of the clan, or the chief then?
Yep.
Yeah, no, that did not happen.
Marlowe got on better terms
surprised
than
me.
Marlowe got on better terms than us, but
He says, excuse me? Was there a duel? Did she win?
no, but she chopped down a tree 4 miles away and dragged it to them because they kind of sarcastically told her to do it, and she went along with it.
Are you sure there's a war happening, Beecham?
Everything I told you is as it is.
Okay.
Well, these guys think we are daft, and if they want to be their proud ways and...
He says, but see, this is the problem. You look at them as their proud ways, when it is you and I that are the outsiders. Expecting them to understand our logic is kind of futile. Maybe we would do better if we would start to accept their culture and do what they do and try to see where they're coming from.
I understand that, and I can agree with that. But I just know that if I was in Cairnemoore after my pilgrimage, and some stranger from the West who looked differently than I did and who had different customs came to me and said, hey, there's potential threat coming from north in Corthan, even if I hadn't heard nothing about Corthan after my return to the pilgrimage, I would be interested to know what the hell was going on. I would be interested to at least hear the people out. I would not be so proud in my own customs and culture to say, oh, you're just strangers, go away. We got this. We can handle ourselves. I'd be humble enough to know that maybe I don't have it.
I think that's the problem. If he was in Cairnemoore, if you were the person being presented this information, but they're not you, they are proud. If you presented him with that information and he believed any of it at all, he's probably trying to find out for his own self whether there's any merit in it, because he doesn't trust you. So I wouldn't assume that he necessarily doesn't believe you. But if you think that these people are going to be humble enough to say they need help and admit that there's something they can't do,
it's a fool's errand to think that.
You're not going to achieve that. They're all far too proud to admit that they need help, especially from somebody outside.
Mm-hmm.
The thing is, what you spoke of is hundreds of miles away. Right. Word, I imagine, doesn't travel very quickly here.
Well, this is just it. It doesn't. And the clans don't really care too much about what happens outside of their own doorstep until it comes to their doorstep. Granted, they are very short-sighted, but that is how they are.
Right. So it's almost futile to go from clan to clan to warn them. If there's no proof, we can't bring proof. Especially since I can't cast any of my magical powers because of the suspicions and what you said a few days ago. So it's almost as if we should just say screw these people and get items, go on, and travel east. If we can't convince them, we can't prove it to them.
What do you expect of them? Are you expecting them to raise an army and travel with you to fight a force that may or may not be there?
No. The last thing we want is for a war to break out.
Right.
But
so what is it?
Fair enough.
What is it you expect them to do?
Give us what we need so we can travel safely.
And they refused to do this. They said you couldn't have anything.
They said we can talk to the merchants, but if they don't treasure gold or coin as much, and they don't value what we can offer them in terms of our skills, how do you barter?
I'm sure they treasure the coin just fine. It's the skills that they probably don't have so much use for.
Well, skills are a little short supply, right? I mean, the gold is in short supply. Well, not exactly rolling in money here.
What the what?
Sammy Rand, thanks for the resub, buddy. Spam your hype and spam.
Hey, thanks, Sammy.
Thank you.
Pants off. He says, well, perhaps just alerting them to the problem now. If the problem does arise, they'll know that you warned them, and at that point, maybe then they'll see your way.
But this is directly against what we talked about when we first got to Dunedin. Because you were saying, don't tell them where we're from, and that immediately made them suspicious, because we're not comfortable lying like that.
No, as I said, it wouldn't be... The point was this, to not appear as outsiders, but...
That's impossible.
That seems to be something that you people don't seem to be able to achieve, because you wear your identity on your sleeves. So, maybe I was in error, because believing you to be these realm-famous diplomats, I assumed too much.
Yes, you did.
The error is mine.
Well, we're not going to integrate into a society and culture that we're not a part of. It's just not in our nature.
Well,
so
I don't think you necessarily have to integrate so much as just try not to stick out like a sore thumb.
Look at how I'm dressed.
Well, yes.
Look at how Kia is dressed.
I understand.
We don't know how.
I understand. I do
not stick out.
I never said that this would be an easy thing to achieve. I do, however, think that it's going to be a challenge to achieve this when you all have such high and mighty standards of doing things.
Yes, chopping down trees.
I
mean, far be it from me, but our friend in the log cabin, I thought offered us a fairly good way of getting on the good side of these folks. But I understand, I know Marlowe's not here right now, but I understand why she didn't go along with that. Something to do with honor and this, that, and the other. And that's fine, that's fine. That's not for me to say. I'm just saying that's the things that are going to make it difficult here. Because these people have honor too, in the same way. But you're outsiders, and they're not going to trust you easily.
Well, I would honestly feel much more comfortable if we just were upfront about everything, including where we are from. I know maybe you say Arconis here and it is looked on with hatred or disdain, but it is where I'm from. It is my job. It is what I've done. My life is for Arconis and my friends.
Well.
And I'm not ashamed of that.
And then perhaps, as I said, maybe I am in error, for I expected something of you that was not reasonable to expect. The stories that I'd heard clearly were probably embellished, and there were some things that were probably led to be told that were not 100% true.
Like what? Let's get this out of the way.
Well, the story...
For your sake.
We had heard that you were able to go before a very hostile group of people, much like these, but who were of an alien culture, more so than these, and somehow win them over to your side, and gain them as allies. I had heard that you had traveled to the High Elven Kingdoms, and that he had committed his forces to defend the outskirts of the city should the armies reach the city gates or something or other. If it wasn't the Elven King, it was some prince or something. We had heard that you had negotiated, all these sort of things, all against the realistic likelihoods that anyone could succeed with such hostile forces. And so I assumed that this was something very similar to what you had done in the past. But if those things were embellished, I understand.
We've touched upon this before. All of those things were true. 100% true. The difference was all those factions that you spoke of about what you claimed to be possible embellishments had a common enemy, and uniting against a common enemy is easier to do than uniting against a supposed hypothetical, maybe it'll happen, maybe it won't, enemy. So we could say the Valkyrie is the enemy and the threats, and maybe that'll help our cause if we're upfront and straightforward about it. But there's also the chance that the Valkyrie are not at fault and not the bad guy. I mean, although I'm not accustomed to their culture. So
the danger to the folks here in the lowlands would be the Valkyrie. And of course, if the Valkyrie travel into the lowlands, then the danger to the Valkyrie would be those from the lowlands. And this, you see, is why I said it was a diplomatic thing. I don't believe that either side is necessarily the aggressor. I don't know.
But see, that's the thing. Because the threats at the war at the Pnerian Ridge, the Jakar Yanki, they were aggressors. They were here to invade, and they took over. They took out Rockhelm, and they took out Estarden, and they were coming to Iridian. So they were aggressively threatening all of Arconis and the people therein. Not all of them who were friendly themselves, but they had their interests, and those were what we preyed upon and took advantage of in our diplomacy. Right. So we can't do that
maybe
here.
Maybe you're right. Maybe you need to be who you are meant to be, and maybe you need to approach them as you say, not hiding anything, tell them everything straight up. And perhaps instead of trying to convince one side that there's an aggressor, maybe it's more just a case of getting to know both sides, determining what's going on from either side, and then work out how to put a stop to it. As I said, I don't claim to be a diplomat.
Honestly, that advice is solid, and I agree with it. And the thing is, I think we blew our chance here. What we need to do is just get our equipment, what we can from these guys with what gold we have, travel to the next town and try again. And at the very least, warn them.
Well,
that's what I think we should do.
If you have told the chieftain and the chief that there is this potential threat.
Kia and I did.
At least if the Valkyrie come chopping down their doors, you will be able to stand in all honesty and say, well, we did warn you. And who knows, perhaps word will come from the west, and they will hear this news from other people and then realize that this is not news that was just delivered by strangers, and perhaps then they may hold more weight in what it was you told them.
I'm going to look at Kia. No more hiding who we are, what we're here for.
It's fine with me.
And it is the honorable thing to do. I think Mother would be happy with that.
I still would hesitate some caution in what you offer, though. As I said, the suspicions being what they are, and they're frowning upon the use of certain types of magics and things.
I will, of course, be diplomatic about it.
We'll do our best to not.
I'm going to chuckle as I say diplomatic.
So your Marlo, where is she? Is she still back there entertaining the war chief?
I don't know where she is. Perhaps. Blacksmith. Yes, she went to the blacksmith.
Oh, that's interesting.
I think she's going to try to help out. Good luck to her.
Well, in a strange way, that is kind of odd. Rather puzzling to me.
Mm-hmm.
the fellow that we met in the woods. He said he was the blacksmith's son. Am I right?
Yes.
So she's going to help the blacksmith, the coward that she disapproved of. She's going to help his father.
I don't know it. Maybe.
Or visit,
maybe
or is
she
she going
changed
there
her
maybe
mind.
to purchase something? Hope she
I don't
doesn't.
know, but
She's not likely to take it out on his dad, is she?
No, she wouldn't do that.
At the very least, we need to see what Marlowe's up to, because Cuthbert knows. We need to talk to the McCullum guy over there, just so he can warn his people of a potential threat. We'll give them the full scoop and show the knife, find the other merchants, and get the fuck out of this town. Skeins be damned.
Well,
Great.
as the incidences are far to the east, then perhaps if we can travel eastwards, we'll get closer to the root of the problem and things will be less fuzzy. While you were gone, I did inquire around town. Provision shouldn't be a problem.
Thank you, Beecham. That's good to know.
Unfortunately, once again, I do think that acquiring horses and carts may be outside of our price range, unless you have somehow managed to procure additional funding from somewhere.
That's fine. Well, we know how to walk. I'm gonna go sit by the fire for a while to calm down.
Alrighty. Okay. And with that, Beecham finishes his last glass of red wine. He looks at you and he says, I wasn't going to, but a fellow I talked to a little earlier before he left out of here suggested it and said it was a rather splendid drink. Rhenish, he called it.
Rhenish.
Yes, it's probably the most pleasant thing I've found about this accursed country so far.
I'm gonna take some of what he's offering. Sample it.
Yeah, it's like a really strong fortified red wine.
Nice.
But it's got a very pleasing kind of very pleasing fruity taste to it, and it's quite warming. He says, well, if you're ready to leave this place behind us, maybe we should go and, as you said, procure some provisions and make our way.
I agree. If anything, we'll head out tomorrow morning, but we'll get everything ready today.
Alrighty. Okay, Beecham goes over to the bar and he buys a bottle of some liquid, and then goes up, gathers his things, and heads towards the door.
I'm going to gesture for Kia and follow Beecham out.
Alright.
Guess we're going to the blacksmith first.
Okay.
Okay, and then you guys are going to head over to the blacksmith. Alright, well, we will be doing that when we see you on Thursday. That brings us to the end of the show. We're way past time. I didn't realize what time it was. Hi there, I'm Gorbad. Welcome to the Orc's Nest. I'm the Dungeon Master here on How We Roll, and if you'd like to follow me personally, you can do so on Twitter, @Gorbad. Check out thedmblog.com for all things Dungeon Master and Dungeons & Dragons related, and of course you can follow me on twitch.tv/Gorbad. Also guys, don't forget, to keep up with all things How We Roll, follow us on Twitter @HowWeRoll. Check out the website www.howweroll.com, and make sure you follow us on YouTube as well. Cheers, guys.
Shagget here. On How We Roll, I play Radovan Rainier, War Priest of St. Cuthbert, who just so happened to author a new academic book that's coming soon. It's titled Libido Rectification for the Required Propagation of Arconis' Depleted Men-at-Arms, or more affectionately titled Mandate Number 2 and You. You can follow me on Twitter @neb_convos for upcoming book excerpts, just to get the hype going, push up the sales. Thanks, guys.
Hey guys, I'm the Dragon Spooker, and I play Marlowe Rayfell, monk and resident badass for How We Roll. If you want to follow me on Twitter, you can do so using @DragonSpooker, or follow my Twitch channel, which I sometimes stream on, twitch.tv/TheDragonSpooker.
Hi, thanks for watching another episode of How We Roll. I am Janie Bonna, and this is my lovely cat, Norman, who really doesn't want to be here right now. You can follow me on Twitter, @JaneOnTwitch with a 0. Shh, don't tell him, he doesn't like birds. No. I stream occasionally on twitch.tv/jnirvana, so you can find me there. And I guess that's all we got. You got something to say? Nope. Peace, suckers. Bye.